Say our first hello to our online listeners this afternoon. Hopefully we are on air now, and maybe one or two of you regulars that do can just confirm that. You probably will have picked up on the sound effects microphone that Cameron Hargreaves has just been awarded the Aldershot Town Supporters Player of the Month. Scored in 3 consecutive games. You got it?
Yeah, got it.
To add to his wholehearted performances in the centre of midfield as well. So the sun is out here. We've got about 14-15 degrees at the EBB this afternoon. I've got a t-shirted Steve Gibbs alongside me. He's just finalising his preparations for this afternoon's commentary, which we will get underway in around about 6 or 7 minutes time. One change for the shots. It's an expected one. Christian Maghoma likely to be out for some time. Ollie Scott too, after his injury in the previous game, or previous but one game. Dan Ellison, who came in for Maghoma on Tuesday night, starts this evening. We think probably on the left side of the back three. So Aldershot's entire back three will be made up of loanees: Ellison, Woodhouse and Armitage. Good afternoon to Mike Winfield, to Pete Baxter and also Lindsay Morrish, who have all messaged to say that you can hear us loud and clear. That's great news. Hope you're having good weeks, good weekends so far, and that the shots can make it an even better weekend for you. Also Colin Hayden in Tenerife. He said he's glad you got some Tenerife style weather today. A little bit balmy, a little bit hazy, a little bit sunshiny. I'd say better than the weather that Lindsay Morris shared with me from Tenerife within the last week. Possibly when you were over here, Colin. But I did get a message from Lindsay with the rain falling mainly on Tenerife, as the saying goes.
I would assume it was.
This is Rob Worrell at the EBB, a couple of minutes away from starting our commentary this afternoon. Just following up on we discussed a couple of minutes ago, Colin Hayden has confirmed that the normal weather service has been resumed in Tenerife. Also, hello to Dean Madgwick, who is hoping for a big 3 points today, and he's in Cambodia. All right, mate. All right, it's high time we got this afternoon's match commentary from the EBB underway for certainly our online BBC Surrey listeners. Thank you very much for joining us, whether it's your first time or whether you're here almost every week or twice a week, as it feels like we are at the moment. I'm Rob Worrell, alongside me is Steve Gibbs, and we've got some blazing sunshine this afternoon at the EBB, so slightly improved weather, slightly improved pitch. It's going to be a slow improvement, but certainly looks better than it did a couple of weeks ago. We've got some young Shots supporters holding red and blue flags either side of the halfway line at the moment as we await the emergence of the two teams. Gateshead this afternoon, who are in 4th place in the National League, and the Shots in 18th at start of play. Both sides with 12 points from their last 8 games, so in similar form. And there's been some very tight games between the two in recent years, to be fair. The Shots outplayed for much of the first half up at the Gateshead International Stadium this season, and saw an early 1-0 lead turned into a 2-1 deficit at half time, but a much improved second half performance saw them get a draw, and probably they looked the more likely team to win in the last 10 or 15 minutes of that one. Last year, of course, Raingate up at the Gateshead International Stadium when that game was eventually played. The Shots, who started that game that night without Jack Barham, without Lauren Tollage and without Josh Stokes, won it 1-0. And last season here at the EBB, a 1-1 draw in which I think Gateshead were probably the better side on the day, but the Shots got themselves a point. Joining me, as I mentioned, as ever, is Steve Gibbs, the former Aldershot Town media manager. We'll get his early thoughts until we see the emergence of the teams. Steve, good afternoon. Nice to see you in your T-shirt on a sunny day.
Any opportunity to get the I won't say guns, to get the arms out. Yeah, it's a fabulous warm spring afternoon here in North East Hampshire, and a fascinating game in prospect. Two teams matched in the form table, but essentially looking at either end of the table. Gateshead's hoping to cling on into the playoffs, the Shots moving further away from the relegation zone. But yeah, with Gateshead so stripped down to the bare bones, 10 players out injured, a lot of whom would be starters. It's a mix and match, cobbled together team. We're not quite sure of their formation as the teams come out, but still a fascinating afternoon away.
Here come the teams at the EBB for this afternoon's National League action. Welcome to our BBC Surrey online listeners and also to our NLTV viewers. Shots led out by Aaron Jones this afternoon in red and blue striped shirts, red shorts and red socks, and they go through the handshakes with the Gateshead team, who are captained by Dan Jones, traditionally a left centre back. He may well be in the centre of their defence today. The Shots will line up as follows this afternoon. Marcus Dewhurst in goal, Ellison, Woodhouse and Armitage the back three, all long-term loanees, without Maghomer and without Scott now, the Shots. Frost, Hargreaves, Widdrington and Jones across the middle, with Ryan Jones supporting Barrett and Barham in attack. Gateshead line up as follows: Tien and Brooks in goal, a back three we think of Brandon Horton, Dan Jones and Ryan Bartley, and then the midfield some combination of Liam Humbles, Regan Booty, Jack Rolls and Luke Hannant, and then Max Sheaf and Ben Warman supporting Joe Van Malcolm in attack. Today is Aldershot Town's Her Game 2 fixture in the same week as International Women's Day. So I'm delighted to say that Aldershot Town welcome fans and supporters, of course, of all ages and sexes and genders, and a lot of kids here today as well. 250 kids given free tickets for the game. The Shots supporters of the future. 4 very keen and excitable mascots take their place in the North Stand in front of us after their time on the pitch. Both sides go into their pre-match huddles. Gateshead, incidentally, are playing in an all-black away strip. And our referee this afternoon is Robert Massey Ellis, and he and his fellow officials are wearing yellow jerseys with black shorts and black socks. All right, it's 18th place shots at the start of play, or the start of the day, against Gateshead, who are in 4th place. Barnet and Dagenham is into the 90th minute, the lunchtime kickoff, and it remains 0-0. So Dagenham and Redbridge, as it stands, have gone above Aldershot Town on a goal difference of 1. A point for this afternoon will lift them above them again. But that's just the league table. We've got a quarter of the season to go, and plenty to play for in not just the National League, but as we'll see next week, Steve, National League Cup Tuesday, Hampshire Senior Cup Thursday, and then the long trip to Altrincham on Saturday. It's been a busy schedule, and it's about to get busier.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it is the time where Tommy will have to use his squad judiciously, but he will tell you the only game that matters at the moment is this game in front of us now, and the shots have got to be looking at 3 points here this afternoon.
Here's Barham snapping away at the heels of the Gateshead defence, who go back to Tien and Brooks. He clears forward. Ellison heads it into touch up against Jovan Malcolm, and it very much does look like that formation we said, a 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 as opposed to Aldershot's 3-4-1-2. And we'll keep you abreast of the other games in the National League this afternoon, which are all obviously kicking off around now as well. Is Barrett chasing the ball forward. Aldershot trying to get straight from A to Z there, route 1, and it's the number 46, Dan Jones, a familiar player at this level. I think we saw him quite a bit in his day for Barrow. Would normally play as a left centre back, but he's having to marshal it in the centre of defence today as Robbie Tinkler, the former shot, who's normally in that position these days for Heed. Unfortunately picked up an injury in midweek and hasn't made it. Robbie, if you're listening or watching, all the best to you. Here come Gateshead on the attack, cutting in, and Rolls on loan from Crawley sends it to Humbles. Humbles, space, finish, goal. Gateshead away. Wonderful finish from the number 17, Jack Rolls, who got the ball back from Humbles. What a start for Gateshead. Just on the 2-minute mark, Aldershot Town 0, Gateshead 1.
Absolutely fantastic, flashing finish. Marcus Dewhurst barely saw that before it was crashing into the back of the net. Not even one of Gateshead's best moves. Concise passing, progressive, probably too much space in between the Aldershot defence and midfield, but fantastic, absolutely fantastic finish. That will give Gateshead great confidence, a platform, something to build on. Even allowing for their depleted numbers, they're probably still going to dominate possession this afternoon. The shots need to be disciplined, keep their shape, work hard out of possession, and then try and exploit maybe the inexperience, the gaps, the lack of familiarity in this Gateshead team. But they've already, in just the second minute, given themselves a mountain to climb.
Yeah, really confident finish from Jack Rolls, exchanging passes with Liam Humbles, and Aldershot now pressing the Gateshead defence. Malcolm plays it into the path of Humbles, who's very energetic in that midfield. He's quick, he's changing direction, and it was the two centre midfielders for Gateshead that combined for that goal. Here they come again, and wonderful build-up play. Warman involved, Malcolm trying to make room for a shot, but Ellison does well and clears away. And early indications, Steve, that Ellison is in the centre of that back three, with Woodhouse on the left and Armitage on the right. Big ask for the young Shots centre backs this afternoon, all on loans, all long-term loans to be fair. They've been here a while, and there's a push in the back of Josh Barrett, not given by the referee there. Must have been blindsided for that one, and the ball's picked up by Ryan Bartley now. And I didn't even get to make the point because they scored so quickly, Steve, but what I was going to say is, no matter what the setback, whether it's the loss of another manager, whether it's the loss of a key player like your Owen Assini, who has gone up to Scotland in January, and countless others over the last couple of seasons, Gateshead just shake it off and just get on with it, don't they?
They do, absolutely, yeah. And losing Greg Ollie for the season on the opening day of the season to such a horrific injury, it's the club ethos that shines through rather than the players wearing the shirt. It is truly that archetype of playing for the shirt rather than the individual.
Here come Aldershot. Barrett might get in here. He's into the penalty area. He's in the area and he shoots and scores. Wonderful finish. Wonderful response from the shots. Goal number 14 of the season for Josh Barrett. Slight stumble from the Gateshead defender and Barrett pounced. He needed no second invitation. Steadied himself and shot past Tin and Brooks. And after the 0-0 in the week, we've had 2 goals in the opening 5.5 minutes. Aldershot down 1, Gateshead 1.
Wow, what a start. We'll have more of this, please. Brilliant from Josh Barrett. Yes, we know he's got that composed finish all day. He probably does it 25 times in training every single day. But the strength, the work rate, to hold that defender off, to push him over, shrug him aside, and then to use his quality and his ability on the ball. That's not necessarily a new element to Josh Barrett's game. It's one that's come to the fore in recent weeks, recent months. He is Aldershot Town's central striker at the moment. It's almost Jack Barham who's playing off Josh Barrett. Brilliant that the shots weren't behind for long either. They needed to respond quickly, and they have. What a game we've got on our hands now.
Yeah, it's such a lift, isn't it? After a very rare, very, very rare, game where two sides cancelled each other out a little bit in the week, and Dagenham came to make sure first and foremost that they weren't beaten, and they've done so against the league's leaders today with a second consecutive 0-0. I think I must get just full-time confirmation of that scoreline.
I think it must be 0-0. That game kicked off, I think there was only 10 minutes to go when I was driving over, so I think that must be a full time. Yeah,
here's a free kick to Gateshead. No, Barnet scored. 90 plus 3. Lee Unlove, they found a way again. Another clean sheet, another win for Barnet. And here's Tyler Frost on the left side, cutting inside, squares it to Theo Widrington. Widrington gets the ball caught underneath his feet. It's picked up by Regan Booty, who was a big doubt for today's game after injury in the week. There's a good winning back from Theo Widrington. Yeah. Gateshead clear it forward. Aaron Jones sends it forward, and Barham does really well to head the ball into the path of Josh Barrett. And now Barrett runs into the penalty area, looks to square it, stands up the man, sends across into the far post, but unfortunately the 3 shots players well forward had all been sucked in nearer the goal. Nobody had held out, and once again slowing things down, steadying himself, but on this occasion not to shots benefit.
No, you could absolutely see it. He did really well to delay the cross, but then just overcooked it. All the shots players had come to the near post. The cross went to the far, but more real enterprise from the shots. I think maybe they realised that Gateshead are perhaps at something of a low ebb, that they are down to their bare bones. Game is there for the taking.
Absolutely. Dagenham, who, if they'd got a point, would have been up to 18th. With that late defeat, remaining 20th now. But obviously all the other games are going to take their place around them. Majority of them at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and one of them a little bit later too. Here's Booty taking the ball down beautifully and stroking it into the path of Horton, former Chesterfield and Notts County players, and then they get it wrong between them. And Booty has the last touch as it goes into touch. It will be a throw into Aldershot. How important, Steve, was it that they responded as quickly as they could, just to keep the atmosphere vibrant here at the EBB?
Well, absolutely vital, I think, and just to not allow Gateshead to get that platform in the game, to set up, to play their really intricate passing game.
Here come Aldershot down the left-hand side. Barham desperately tries to lunge in and get contact before it's shepherded behind by Ryan Bartley. Of course, Aldershot took the lead early in the game up at Gateshead, didn't they? So the away sides have scored first in both games this season, and the The fixture up at the Gateshead International Stadium finished 2-2 that day. 1-1 now. Good afternoon to Steve Ray, listening in from the very sunny Isle of Wight, wearing his red and blue mankini for the first time this season. I don't want to believe you, Steve.
I'd forgotten about that mankini.
Yeah, I always thought it was a green.
The mind bleach had worked.
Exactly. Mike Brown's just saying you were a little quiet, but I've sorted that out now. And Alan Walker just confirming that, Barnett got that game late on 90+3 through Lee and Love, who they signed to replace Nicky Kabamba. And he settled in very nicely, thank you. Here's Dewhurst with one straight down the middle. And Barham's chasing that, and he might get into it. And now, at the last minute, he's given offside. He strikes at goal. Brooks saves it with his feet anyway. One of those frustrating ones where the flag doesn't go up straight away, and the supporters and the striker in possession gets rather excited. But we're used to this, Steve, with Jack Barham. He always plays on the shoulder of the last man.
Yeah, and it only takes one instance where he gets it right, or the assistant gets it slightly wrong, and he's in. And yeah, I don't think any of the Gateshead players expected Jack to come in on the blind side there.
Here's Jones picking up the ball on the edge of the area, poor clearance, but Gateshead have won it back again. Ellison goes in with Malcolm, and Ryan Jones can't beat Warman. He feeds it back to Malcolm, who looks so strong. He's dispossessed by Armitage unfairly, according to the majority of the North Stand. I can only think, Steve, that from our angle we can't see what happened there, because I didn't see a foul. Did you?
No, I think it was a
referee pretty
strong
close.
coming together.
Yeah.
I'd have said 50-50. The referee clearly thought otherwise, but
yeah, sometimes we just got to accept that things look different from a different angle. So for our NLTV viewers, that might have been clear and obvious. It wasn't for us, but the referee pretty close by, Massey Ellis. Booty takes the free kick out to the right hand side, where Armitage prevails up against his fellow centre back Ryan Bartley, and then the ball ends up in touch. Bartley thinks about taking it, but he's going to leave it for his teammate Dan Jones, the centre back, who's going to take that. He's obviously got a long throw on him. In comes the long throw, and through the corridor of uncertainty, past everybody, and behind the goal away to our left for a goal kick to the shots. Things have somewhat, and I'm only speaking relatively here, Steve, settled down. 12 minutes gone. Aldershot Town 1, Gateshead 1. If you missed the early goals, listeners, where were you? Come on.
Yeah, there's still a pleasing openness about the game, a willingness to attack, maybe even a little bit of a lack of cohesion. The defence is looking to cause a bit of chaos at both ends of the pitch, and that can only augur well for the rest of the game. But Jovan Malcolm, any shots? Well, the many shot supporters who were at the Hawthorns for that FA Cup tie last year, he was one of the players who embarrassed Kean Harris and scored for West Bromwich Albion. He will remember that, and he'll fancy his chances this afternoon. Obviously, not against Kean Harris.
Here's Aldershot breaking forward. Woodhouse involved, little flick on. Tiernan Brooks will just shepherd the ball out as Barrett shuts him down. 13 minutes gone now here. Aldershot Town 1, Gateshead 1. Welcome to our NLTV viewers this afternoon. Supporters of both sides, I'm sure, and one or two neutrals dropping in and out as well. Here's Warman looking to send the ball through. Well read by Ellison. Clears to touch. He's going to have his hands full with Jovan Malcolm this afternoon, that's for sure. Listening up in Yorkshire, Ellie and Gina Ballston, good afternoon to you guys. Throw in to Gateshead. Horton takes it, goes all the way back to Jones, who turns it back round the corner to Brooks. Brooks is going to be shut down by Barrett. Gateshead happy to play it out from defence, but they're well pressed. Jones, Barrett and Barham all up there. And now Bartley carries it forward until he's shut down by Jones. And Hannant, Gateshead's top scorer this season. I meant to check how many were penalties. I know it's the vast majority.
He scored 2 from open play and 11 penalties.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was about his 9th or 10th goal of the season that was the first one that was from open play. He won't care about that, just like Kean Harris didn't last season. He scored 8 penalties for Aldershot. Here comes Humbles again, running with the ball. right up to the edge of the defence, gives it to Rolls. Rolls plays the ball into Warman. He tries to turn sharply. Ball comes in, headed away by Armitage. Back in from Rolls, looking for Warman, edge of the area, tries to play the ball forward. It's half cut out, falls back into the path of Cameron Hargreaves, and he clears away to touch. Liam Humbles, Steve, is causing Aldershot a lot of issues here. Certainly with the opening goal for Gateshead, and with his running with the ball in midfield. Very, very quick dribbler, 2-footed, going either way.
Yeah, he's got experience of playing out wide, and I think that is counting in his favour, where he's, as you say, that quick feet, that tricky technical ability, and yeah, he's finding too much space in that number 10 position.
Here's Malcolm picking the ball up on the edge of the area. Ellison clears forward. He can't find a shots player, but the clearance forward finds Frost, and then Frost gets that pass wrong, but there's a good tackle from Woodhouse, and now something's been stopped.
I think there's a medical incident in the south stand. Josh Barrett was aware of it and was flagging, trying to get the referee's attention.
Okay, yeah, we've had a stoppage in play, and well done Josh Barrett for spotting whatever's happened over there in the south stand. We'll have a stoppage in play. We'll have a look at the other scores. We'll get some thoughts on the opening 15 and a half minutes, and just coming back on Liam Humbles, who we were talking about. Yeah, really exciting young player, and you know, Gateshead have a plethora of them. They've signed a lot of players this season, and I think in terms of players with squad numbers, they've actually had the largest squad in the National League, which flies against the tradition. But there's a process behind that. They've signed a lot of young players who are out on loan at clubs at step 2, 3, 4, etc. of non-league, and the policy's actually proven now. With the massive injury crisis, Steve, to have been a real bit of foresight.
Yeah, and I think they've had to continually replenish the squad and refresh the squad. They've brought Radcliffe and Bartley in from Derby. That's, yeah, because of those number of injuries, when you've got virtually a whole starting lineup out through various injuries for varying lengths of time, particularly Kenton Richardson's been out for a long time. Greg Ollie, as we've already said, is out for the rest of the season, unfortunately. And yeah, to keep them, it's I would say a minor miracle that, given the upheaval they've had off the pitch and on the pitch, to still be in 4th place. It is testament to the togetherness and the ethos of the whole club, and the way that Carl Magnay has held the squad together. And he feels like a new manager, but he's been in position, I think, since kind of the autumn, maybe even before that, and he's done really well to wheel and deal and keep the players that he has, and keep them playing to such a high degree, and to maintain that style of play as well. They're by far the best passing team in the division. They play nearly 500 passes per game, which is 1/3 more than Aldershot Town, who are not direct long ball by any means. It's just Gateshead pass you to death in the best possible sense. I think 1/3 of the best passers in this division all either do or have played for Gateshead this season. Led by, of course, their quarterback Regan Booty, who may have to contribute a little bit more defensive diligence, do a little bit more dirty work this afternoon, and that could be to Aldershot Town's benefit, where he's not able to look forward as much and pick his passes. But they're still tough opposition, however unrecognisable their starting lineup may be.
Still got our stoppage in play here for a medical emergency over in the south stand. That's treatment of that is taking priority. Gateshead started the afternoon in 4th place, and other than a big turnaround with Oldham winning and them losing, I think that's where they will also remain. They're 6 points behind Forest Green in 3rd as it stands in the live league table, and 2 points ahead of Oldham. But Halifax, a number of people thought they were overachieving just to be in and around and on the fringe of the playoffs, but they got into the playoff position a month or so ago, and they've really consolidated. They've got in the live league table at least, a 7-point gap now, as they've gone 1 goal up against Yeovil after beating Forest Green in the week. And Chris Millington continues to work miracles up there, much as Carl Magnay and his predecessors have done at Gateshead, where I think it's largely acknowledged, and we don't have all the figures in front of us, but Gateshead and Halifax, 2 sides who are perhaps amongst the smaller budgets in the National League, but both of them sitting comfortably in the top 6 right now, and long may that continue in football.
Yeah, absolutely, impressively punching above their weight, both Gateshead and Halifax. And yeah, certainly Halifax, for I think their 4-3 here at the Ebb Stadium in December was a complete outlier, a bit of an anomaly in their season. They're normally so almost goal shy. They don't score many, but they concede even fewer, and I think that efficiency, that being hard to beat, is what has got them up there. And it's, it may not be the prettiest football or the most thrilling games, but it's sure as hell effective.
Yeah, Halifax's opening goal against Yeovil, while we still have this stoppage in play here, was scored by Angelo Capello. 1-1 here, of course, and the only other game that's got a goal in it is Rochdale 1, Wealdstone 0. Toby Adebayo Rowling scoring after 9 minutes, the day after he extended his contract with the Dale. So rather poetic. Sometimes you see players going off the boil when they've got a new contract.
Nope.
Not so Mr. Adebayo Rowling. We've had a 3rd goal now in the National League, and that's come from Southend United at home to very much in form Altrincham, and that's the centre-back James Golding, who's scored for the 2nd consecutive match. Still, we have this stoppage in play, so I think we said 15.5 minutes, didn't we, when the
it was approximately,
when the stoppage occurred.
Yeah, I'm surprised both sides are still. I mean, Aldershot Town are the more active. Gateshead are congregated near the halfway line, just in front of their dugout. I'm surprised both teams aren't setting up a mini training session just to keep themselves warm.
They may do at some point.
It's not a cold day, of course, but you've got to keep your muscles fresh and supple.
Yeah.
If and when the game is to restart.
Yeah, absolutely. The referee coming over to talk to one of the stewards at the moment. Message in from Colin McDonald, and by the way, if anybody, while we've got this stoppage in play, wants to message in and get a shout out, go for it. We've got to talk about something. Colin McDonald, who I had the pleasure of meeting 7 days ago and again briefly on Tuesday, is a stray shot from Orlando that came over for the last 3 games. No, I beg your pardon, it was the 3 games, the 2 league games the previous week and the Saturday FA Trophy game at Sittingbourne, wasn't it, that Colin was over from Orlando and saw 3 Aldershot Town victories in a week. He said, please could you say a huge thank you to everyone I met during the Return of the Shots event recently, new and old. Hope to see you all again soon. Yeah, very best wishes from us as well, Colin. Great to meet you. I know you had your moment after the game at Sittingbourne, holding up the flag and having your photo taken with the Aldershot Town management team on the day, and various conflabs going on at the moment in and around the ground. The referee over on the far side talking to the safety officer, I'm sure. We've got the stoppage in play. If you've joined us late, the game was stopped on 15.5 minutes for a medical emergency over on the far side, and it's currently 1-1. The shot's taking or going a goal behind, I beg your pardon, just 2 minutes in after a really good exchange between Rolls and Humbles. Just very quick feet, really, wasn't it, Steve? The pair of them. I don't know. I'm sure that the shots management team will be able to look at it and find something they should have done better, but you just moved the ball very quickly, and it was an exquisite finish.
Yeah, I think the one thing that the Aldershot Town defence should have done is be tighter. Gateshead, for all of their quick passing, good movement in the build-up to that goal, then I think they were afforded a little bit too much space. I wait to see the goal back, but yeah, for me, my instant reaction seeing it live was, yes, they've done really well, Gateshead, to fashion that move, but where were the challenges? Where was the defence? Where was someone looking to get a block in or make themselves kind of put themselves 50-50 in the face of one of those midfielders? That for me didn't happen. But then once Humble's got the ball, absolutely fantastic flashing finish, nestled into the corner of the net before Marcus Dewhurst pretty much saw it.
Referee still talking to the safety steward on the far side. We've had one more goal meantime in the National League, and it's come for Woking away at Boston United, one of those four sides in the bottom four who've shown improved form of late underneath Graham Coughlin. They've doubled their number of wins in recent weeks for the season, but still quite away from safety. Just while I keep talking here, I know Steve's just trying to listen to some discussions going on behind us where we may be getting a little bit more information. It might well be that this game cannot resume until some further medical aid. 1 second.
Is the person okay? The medical professionals are all over there, so if there's an incident on the pitch.
Bear with us, listeners. We're just trying to gain some more information for you. Steve, what have you gleaned from that conversation? And I don't know if you'd have heard the announcement, but they just announced that the game's been suspended, and they'll keep us posted.
Yeah, I think fortunately, initial prognosis is that the person involved in the medical emergency is okay, but the fact is that all of the medical professionals in the stadium are quite rightly engaged in treating that person, so the game cannot continue, because if there were an incident elsewhere or an incident on the pitch, no one will be able to treat that subsequent incident. So I think that's more the issue. I'm not sure if they're waiting for an ambulance or somebody to come and pick the person up to ferry them off to have further treatment, but the main thing that matters is the initial prognosis is that the person involved is okay, and that is the most important thing. So hopefully the game will soon be able to continue, but yeah, it cannot start until everybody is 100% certain and safe.
Well, I think you're relatively safe. Yeah, sorry, Steve. Sorry to cut you off. I think you're relatively safe to nip and get some refreshment or snacks or whatever if you're listening. Referee is coming back over to this side of the pitch now, so we may be close to a resumption. Steve, one thing, while we're probably still at least a minute or so, even if they start straight away from getting underway. Healthy news from Gateshead coming out yesterday. That I think we discussed it actually once, didn't we? But the application for EFL has been accepted. Yes. Should they make the playoffs and prevail? Absolutely, yeah, that's superb news. Yeah, they've become a fixture at the top end of the National League table over recent years. And just say, if you are listening on the radio, the referee has gathered all 22 players over and is having a little huddle with them near the centre circle, presumably just to give them an update and say, this is what's happening, the game. Maybe they've made a decision to say, well, let's pause it for a further 10-15 minutes, and then the players and the teams will be able to make their own decisions whether to stay out on the pitch or go back into the dressing room. But yeah, the promotion, relegation, all issues should be decided on the pitch, not because of factors outside of the players' influence off the pitch. And if Gateshead can maintain their position inside the playoffs, then it'll be a remarkable achievement given the turbulent season that they've endured. Thank you. That's Steve Gibbs. I'm Rob Worrell, and the referee's called the players, as Steve said, to a meeting in the centre, and now I think coming over to talk to the management teams, and now he's going to advise them. I think if there's actually information to advise, then logic would suggest there's going to be a further delay of how long we don't know. You just don't need all those discussions if we're about to get on with it. So prolonged delay, which has so far lasted for almost 14 minutes. 14 minutes. And the Aldershot Town Club secretary, Louis, is down by the corner, by what used to be known as Radio Shots. Just down the far right corner in the north stand. That's where the access gate is. I don't know if any vehicle is going to need access
whether he's stationed there to open it upon their arrival, or whether he just happened to be there. But yeah, looks like, well, some people are making their way down the tunnel. It looks like the players are making their way down here. Certainly, yeah, the Aldershot Town players and the Gateshead players are taking refuge in the dressing rooms. So clearly this will be a longer delay than we'd expected. But obviously, the first, the foremost, the only thing is that the person involved in the medical incident is okay.
Absolutely. I think we'll deal with one or two matters, listeners, and then keep the sound effects microphone on and stand down ourselves for a short while. A couple of hellos as well, though. Paul Bertie Reynolds says, "Hi Rob, I'm only an hour south of Colin McDonald in South Florida. We'll both be over in May. I hope Colin is paying." Colin may then be hoping that he's not coming over in May, but I'm sure he will, and I think regular listeners will know what we're referring to. I just informed our BBC bosses of the delay. We have a stoppage in play that's now reached 15 minutes. It occurred at 15 and a half minutes with a score at 1-1. And listeners, as I advised previously, we'll leave the sound effects microphone on, and Steve and I will stand down until such time as we got some more news for you.
No, Christina and Amelia were in London, but no, I've just been meeting them at home, having a chilled one, I think.
But we're not on air. That's live, that microphone. So, yeah, not that you would swear anything. Hello again, listeners. You might well have heard that announcement anyway, but just to confirm that the game will restart at 3:45, 12 minutes from now, 1-1, and the game stopped at 15 and a half minutes. So go and do what you need to, listeners, for the next 10, 11 minutes or so, and we'll get back underway with our commentary once we see the teams emerge. I'm sure a few people will stay with us, which of course is your choice. At least one more goal to tell you about in the National League. And it was for Hartlepool scoring at Eastleigh.
It won't be, even though the clock is...
Although that goal, let's have a look, might have been ruled out. In the stand. Game is going to resume kickoff at 3:45, and it will be 15 and a half minutes in when it does. The referee's on the phone to somebody. Did you see that top one?
Oh, blimey.
I didn't see that. No.
0-0 when I was coming over. Not much of a game apparently.
Further goal in the National League, Maidenhead United 0, Sutton United 1.
Yeah. But yeah, I would expect. I don't know if the game is officially suspended. I don't know.
And another goal in the National League, AFC Fylde 0, Braintree 1. What a wonderful run of form Braintree are having. Aldershot Town and Gateshead have re-emerged, probably to go through a little bit of a warm-up.
Yeah, I think that's what it's got to be. You still take it as though from 3 o'clock. No. But it can't. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's not an issue. I think someone's had a fall down the stairs. Yeah.
Oh, I fell down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like someone was taken ill.
Right.
Well, from the position, Graham said it was a fall, so I guess they must have
Yeah, it's gone back.
tripped and fallen down the stairs. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought somebody must have.
You would. Yeah. It wasn't that sort of thing, though.
Interesting start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fourth and Jones with the header. Palace over.
So both teams going through warm-ups here before we get back underway with the first half here. Play due to restart at 3:45. There will at that point be 15 and a half minutes on the clock. Lewis Davies, who is, as many of you will know, a stray shot, an Aldershot Town supporter who lives up in the northeast. He said he found it an interesting chat about Gateshead and budgets. They do actually have a massive catchment area to recruit from. The nearest EFL club is Carlisle, 50 miles away, and the nearest non-league club is, or National League club, sorry, is Hartlepool, 40 miles away. So they can recruit players looking for that step up or step down without too much competition. I still think it's massive compliments really to Gateshead, the way they've kept the continuity going, and they're still healthily in a playoff position despite losing a number of players and management over the last year or so. And that's not to mention finishing in the playoffs last season and not being able to take part in them. And that was the announcement that came out yesterday, the formal confirmation that their official application to the EFL has been accepted should they reach promotion from the National League this season. Fairly intensive warm-ups, running ones. Now the balls are coming out for the shots. They're already out for Gateshead. And I wonder what the reason would be, Steve, just talking openly here, why they had to come on and announce a restart time. What? Maybe for the sake so that everybody on the football inside could actually go through a process of a warm-up.
I think so. I think it's good communication.
Yeah.
It keeps everybody informed, and people know that they're popping to get a drink or they come for a break, then they know when to be back. And absolutely, and certainly the players, they now need to go through another pre-match warm-up, and they know kind of what would have been 3 p.m. is now 3:45
p.m. and yeah, that's I think that's been handled really well to keep people informed and just so that people know that this isn't going to drag on interminably. And that sounds harsh when you're talking about someone who's what it seems like has had a potentially serious fall over on the far side. Then a football match doesn't really matter, but everyone is here for a football match, and just you need to know whether it's going to continue or what sort of protracted delay you're going to get. But fortunately everyone on the far side does seem okay, and the game, we're now about 4 minutes away from restarting.
Certain irony with this stoppage in play, which has now gone on for 25 minutes and it will go on for close to 30, is that this game here, which is only played 15 minutes, is still the one with the most goals in the National League this afternoon. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games where one side leads by a goal to nil. Southend, Rochdale, Halifax, Woking and Barnet are all 1 up, or in Barnet's case have won. And in the live league table, Barnet at the moment heading 11 points clear in the National League this afternoon. That's of course based on York City currently drawing their game, so it can be kept at 9 if York get their job done. We believe we're now just a couple of minutes away from kick-off. I would imagine though, to be fair, if both teams have gone through their warm-ups and everybody's happy from both sides, there'll be no reason to delay any further. 15:42 as we report, but hopefully the referee remembered where the ball was in play at the time. Can you remember, Steve?
It was somewhere to our left, somewhere in the Gateshead defensive half, because Josh Barrett was over on that left-hand side. He was closest to the incident.
I remember now. Yeah, we wondered why he hadn't gone for a ball, and then he was looking behind him, wasn't he? And it was cleared forward.
Yeah.
I'd imagine Gateshead will pick up possession, perhaps just inside their own half or just inside the Aldershot half. Even the official over on the far side going through some new stretches.
Yeah. Now it becomes about who's going to restart the quickest. We had a quick start in this game, but now who's going to start a second time for the quickest? The referee is calling for the match ball, and so the restart appears to be imminent. The
match ball has re-entered the building. There's now a 6th game at 1-0. This is the only one at 1-1, and it's Solihull Moors 1, Ebbsfleet 0. So Wealdstone and Fylde both behind. Shots level 1-1 here, and we are going to get underway, as I thought, Steve, with Gateshead in possession just inside the Aldershot town half. Gateshead scoring on 2 minutes, Aldershot on 5, and the game had just really started to settle down a little bit. Pretty even as far as the scoreline's concerned, pretty even as far as the territory and the possession's been, possibly Gateshead enjoying a smidge more. We're going to get underway now as Bartley plays the ball back through Jones to his defender, and it's played straight through the middle, chased by the Gateshead number 11, Ben Moorman. He's held off, and the ball is into touch. Apologies to Gateshead's fans watching on an LTV. I may have got Warman and Sheaf mixed up a little bit earlier on today. Apologies for that. I had the number written down wrong. We're all human. Okay, according to our stop, yeah, we're going to have 31 added minutes. That must be a record. 45 minutes are up, and there you go. We've got 31 minutes to go. Here's a ball through the middle, inside left channel, chased by Barrett and scooped up by Tiernan Brooks,
and that's a minimum. That's injury time already, added time. What the actual injury time will be, we'll be adding on top of that.
That's Steve Gibbs. I'm Rob Worrell. You're either listening to BBC Radio Surrey or watching NLTV. Here's Malcolm holding the ball up, but Armitage can clear that one away. Number of times he's crossed over sides and been on the left side, the way the defensive positions have been. So I wonder if perhaps that's because they're marking individual players and not necessarily just territories. There's a heavy touch from Byron, but he recovers well. And then Gateshead have got it, and they look to play the ball back. And I think for a brief moment, when Brandon Horton turned around and looked behind him, Tiernan Brooks was nowhere near his goal, was he? Just as well he didn't play it straight back to the goal, otherwise it might have bobbled and trickled in. Here's a much deeper number 15, Liam Humbles, back in his own area. Gateshead then play it forward. Sheaf's involved. Momentary late tackle there from Will Armitage, and it is a foul inside the centre circle, just inside their own half, on Jack Rolls. I think he was confirmed, wasn't he, Steve, as the Gateshead goal scorer?
I'm pretty certain he was, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just double check that. I know it was Humbles and Rolls that were involved together. Ball out to the right hand side. Gateshead pick it up now with Sheaf. The player alongside him's gone down. Cross comes into the area to the far stick. Aaron Jones gets up and heads it behind for a corner, but there's still a Gateshead player down. It's getting up to his knees now, and I can't quite identify who it is, but it will be a corner to Gateshead when we restart, and that will be the first corner of the afternoon, I think, Steve, to either side, won't it?
It will be, yes. Yeah, it was vital defensive play from Aaron Jones there. He couldn't take any chances about whether the ball was going to drop out of play or...
I think it might be Luke Hannant, but I'll confirm that in just a minute. The Heed top scorer is still limping a little bit. One thing's for sure, that Heed could very much do without further injury today. Hannant's limping back, but is gradually trying to get some feeling back into his legs.
Yeah, I hope that he'll be able to run it off.
Booty with the left-footed corner is headed up and over the bar by Dan Jones, I think. And it will be a goal kick to the Shots. And so after another brief stoppage in play, we'll get underway again. Referee wants that goal kick taken again. He thought the ball was moving before Marcus Dewhurst struck it. He's now going to switch over to the right side. And I could give you the time. I could tell you how long's on the stopwatch. None of those would really help. Let's just tell you that we've got a minimum of 27 minutes and 50 seconds still to play in this first half. Shots 1, Gateshead 1. Dewhurst with the goal kick. One in the air by Booty against Barham. Headed into touch by Hargreaves. Warman fetches the ball, gives it to Brandon Horton. And Horton goes back to Dan Jones, the skipper on the day. He goes back to his keeper, Tiernan Brooks. Spread over to the left side. Hargreaves almost wins it, but Rolls picks up the ball, plays it to Malcolm, takes the ball under control, edge of the area. Ellison tries to tackle, can't get it away. Gateshead send it out to the right hand side to Hannant to Sheaf and back. Cross comes into the far post. Great defending there from Aaron Jones, because the header came in from Ben Warman and Jones got up, blocked it behind for a corner, but an on-target header there from Ben Warman, and it remains 1-1. Second corner to Gateshead.
Yeah, more vital defending from Aaron Jones there.
Corner then to Gateshead. 1-1 here. Some 25 minutes or so still to play in the first half. Booty floats the corner, headed down, and it's going possibly onto the post or just wide of it. Dewhurst takes no chances and steers it behind. It'll be a third corner in 3 minutes for the Heed, who have started on the front foot after the long stoppage in play. In comes a low driven corner, headed up in the air and behind by Cameron Hargreaves, and the corner count rises to 4. It will be on this near side, this north stand side again. Regan Booty will take again, and his 3 deliveries so far have all been slightly different. Sent to the far post, sent to the near post, driven low. What will this one be? Booty, of course, who spent time here at Aldershot and Maidstone and Notts County. This corner beats everybody. Over to the far post, picked up by Joe Van Malcolm, and he sends it across in, and that one's just behind. Yeah, hi Tim, hi listeners on the radio. So at the moment we still have 25 minutes of the first half to play, because the game was stopped on around about 15 and a half minutes due to an incident, an emergency, a medical emergency involving a spectator over on the far side in the south stand. Very good communication from the stewards and the officials. They waited for more medical support to arrive, and eventually we restarted at 3:45, which would have been pretty much the expected half time. So let me tell you a little bit about the game, as once again a coming together between players. We'll have a stoppage in play that will allow me to do so perfectly, Tim. It was a high tempo start from Gateshead. The wonderful interplay between Jack Rolls and Liam Humbles. Jack Rolls, of course, on loan from Crawley, who our Sussex listeners will be well aware of, and he finished from the edge of the area with some aplomb. That put the Heat ahead on 2 minutes, but the shots responded very quickly. Just 5 minutes were on the clock when one of the Gateshead centre-backs didn't quite, stumbled a bit as he tries to head the ball back to Tinnenbrooks in goal, and Josh Barrett pounced onto the ball, carried it into the area on the left-hand side, steadied himself and finished low into the net past Tinnenbrooks. So the 2 goals coming in the open in 5 minutes, then the stoppage in play on 15, and now, Tim, we have 23 and a half to go, and it remains Aldershot Town 1, Gateshead 1. Throw in to Aldershot now. Ryan Jones is going to take, level with the edge of the penalty area. In it comes, headed on by a Gateshead player, and then competed for on the edge of the box. Malcolm with a lovely deft header into the path of his teammate Humbles. Humbles quickly sees that Hannant's attacking out on the right hand side. Shots trying to get players back in. In they send it to Sheaf. Sheaf flicks it away with his heel, and it's cleared away by Frost. But only Barham's up top for the shots, and Gateshead pick up the ball again on halfway with Booty. Booty feeds Bartley, and Bartley feeds the ball further outright to Humbles. He's popping up everywhere in this first half. Shots have won it through Hargreaves, and he sends it back to Marcus Dewhurst. Dewhurst sends it out to this right side to Armitage, who sends it up to Josh Barrett. He sends the ball down the right side. That will find touch, and it will be a throw in to Gateshead, halfway inside the Aldershot Town half, and this very bitty, scrappy first half game played in wintry sunshine at the EBB remains 1 goal apiece. And if you've just joined us in the last few minutes, we still do have 22 minutes still to play. I should have put a countdown timer on rather than a count up one, because I'm having to do the maths each time. Gateshead with the throw. Rolls holding the ball up. Goes back to Dan Jones, sends it forward. Sheaf tries another heel round the corner. This time A doesn't come off and B Hargreaves wins it. Ryan Jones pokes it into the path of Widrington. It's blocked into the path of Woodhouse. Malcolm then picks the ball up off of Ellison. Ellison positions himself well and Theo Widrington wins the ball back. Marcus Dewhurst has the ball, sends it to Armitage, who sends it forward, and Gateshead have got their head on it again. Any interaction, any shouts or involvement from the north stand in front of us seems to be attracting the attention of Tommy Widrington, probably far more than it should.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of dismay at a heavy touch from Theo Widrington, which Tommy picked up on, and then when he did something good and won it back, I think Tommy was encouraging the crowd to recognise that as a positive, asking for a positive reaction to that, which I think, yes, the manager should not be getting involved in that sort of interaction, but as with Tuesday night's reaction to Theo's substitution, I think you've got to take each moment on its merits, and regardless of what your kind of predisposition is towards any individual player.
Here's Aaron Jones on the ball, shots on the edge of the Gateshead final third. More on Aaron Jones when we get our next stoppage in play, because some words from him in the programme today I think are worth sharing with our listeners. Here's a 50-50 ball, Frost jumping with Sheaf, Frost getting the contact, throw in to Gateshead, and it remains here. Aldershot Town 1, Gateshead 1. 20 minutes left of this first half as a minimum. There's a shove in the back by Bartley on Barham, and Ebbsfleet United have equalised at Solihull Moors. Two sides very much struggling to collect points in the National League at the moment. Not so the Shots, just 2 defeats in their last 11 National League games. Incidentally, they've quietly gone 6 unbeaten here at home at the EBB, 2 wins, 4 draws. That runs even longer if you bring in other competitions. Here's Ryan Jones with a free kick into the box over everybody, and both Armitage and Woodhouse pushed up tight. If one had gone forward, one back, then he might have got lucky there, but Ellison up there as well. Ball's behind the goal away to our right. We will restart play with a goal kick to Gateshead, and here is the former Media Town manager, the former Aldershot Town media manager, Steve Gibbs.
Rearrange those words to form a well-known phrase or sentence.
Yeah,
it's Shots haven't really got going since the restart. Gateshead had lots of pressure, forced a rather scrambling save from Dewhurst. But we said, as the game was about to restart, who was going to restart the fastest. It's undoubtedly been Gateshead, but neither team have really been able to get a foothold, get much of a period of dominance beyond a couple of set pieces in this game. I think the first half remains there for the taking. The Shots need to lift it, they need to find a bit more cohesion.
There's a ball through the middle. Ryan Jones nearly presses it off Booty, but Booty's touch is good and firm. And again, Humbles picks up the ball, and again he dribbles forward. Gets a return ball from Jovan Malcolm. Drops it into the path of Jack Rolls out to the right hand side to Luke Hannant now. He's going up against Tyler Frost. Can he stop the cross? No. Can he stop the header? No. The header comes in very bravely from the Shots skipper Aaron Jones. Tremendous bit of defending, not for the first time this afternoon, at the far post from the Shot skipper. And while we set up for this goal technique, let me quote Aaron Jones in today's match programme. One thing I particularly was frustrated about in the week was individual players getting singled out for criticism by some of our own supporters. We win together, lose together, and we draw together. There is still plenty to play for this season, and I would urge each person who pays their money to come and watch and support us to get behind whoever is fortunate enough to pull on the Aldershot Town shirt. We ultimately all want the same thing, to be successful and win more football matches for this fantastic club and its fans. Here, Aaron Jones.
Amen to that. Yeah, Ollie Harfield posted something on the social media platform known as X, what people probably known as Twitter.
Aldershot have won it. Barrett into the area. Carries on his run, tries a shot, it's blocked, comes out, and it's cleared behind for a corner to the shots. It'll be their first. Terrific pressing again from the shots, causing a few nervous moments in that Gateshead defence. And still a very, very evenly poised game, Steve, just as you sense that Gateshead are maybe getting on top again, forcing those 4 corners. Now the shots coming back into it.
They are, yeah, and that was Josh Barrett. He put a couple of defenders on the floor. It seemed to be opening up for him to get a shot away, but then that door just as quickly was closed. But at least the shots have a corner.
They certainly do. Barrett's going to take it, right-footed. It's headed away by Hannon at the near post. Not the best of deliveries, that one. The cliche of not beating the first defender, but shots have taken the throw. Frost sends a deep ball in, and well, at the last minute, quite cleverly actually, I have to say, pretty good awareness from Ben Warman. He ducks underneath it and it goes behind for a goal kick. Had he not been so certain of whether any Aldershot Town players were beyond him, he may have had to have a touch there and concede a corner. But good defensive work from Warman.
It was, yeah, absolutely. I mean, entirely appropriate that someone called War Man plays for the club whose nickname is War Club. Nominative determinism at its finest.
Very good. Here's Aldershot winning the ball through Theo Widrington and sending it back to his goalkeeper Marcus Dewhurst. More in from Paul Reynolds about himself and Colin living in America and supporting the shots. Before the first game in 1992, Colin and Paul both helped to paint the whole ground, the yellow safety lines on the terraces, and all the red and blue around the ground under construction via Terry Owens. Colin moved the States 20 years later. We found each other via stray shots and both live in South Florida. Yeah, wonderful story that. Glad you're both listening in from America again today. 1-1 here between the Shots and the Heed. 2 up in the northeast. Here's a ball forward, chased by Malcolm. Dewhurst gets there on the corner of his box, had to just watch it and time it, grabbing it, otherwise he'd have been outside of his area. Sends it to Armitage, who now sends it up to Theo Widrington. Ball over the top, looking for Jack Barham, but again it will just drift out of play. That is a ball that Shots have looked for quite a lot, isn't it? An early ball into the right channel in particular, and it hasn't quite come off yet, but certainly part of the game plan. Barham does well there, looking to play it off of Warman into touch, but he doesn't make any contact with Warman. So for the second time in a couple of minutes, Gateshead win the set piece due to Warman's quick feet, quick thinking. Horton sends the ball forward, it comes back, then Theo Widrington with a strong-headed winner, plucked out of the air by Bartley, headed forward by Hargreaves. A little bit of head tennis, eventually the ball ends up at the feet of Luca Woodhouse, and he turns sharply, under pressure from Max Sheaf, finds Ellison. Ellison toes it to Hargreaves, and now to Will Armitage on the right hand side. He shapes for the run long, then plays it short to Jones. Armitage continues his run. He exchanges passes Jones with Widrington. Ball is towed back to Hannon, by Hannon to his goalkeeper, and now Gateshead play out from the back. Again, good strength from Malcolm. He manages to hold off Ellison, and now he turns and realises he's in a little bit of space as well. Plays the ball back to Bartley. Real proper target man, Joe Van Malcolm today. He's held it up superbly, and fairly so as well. The Shots youngsters have been up against some big bruising defenders who know all about the dark side of the game. But for me, he's just used his strength, his physicality. Here's the ball played back to Tiernan Brooks. He's pressed now by Barham. Jones picks the ball up, and Aldershot win it momentarily. But Booty gets a quick foot in to poke it clear. And there's a counter-attack, and Humbles has picked it up, and he's racing through the middle, and he shoots, and it's blocked underneath him by Marcus Dewhurst, who saves the day. And the very last thing the Shots would want, Humbles picking the ball up with an ocean of space in front of him. Terrific save, one-on-one, point blank, out to the edge of his area by Marcus Dewhurst.
Yeah, he's finding too much space in that midfield, Humbles. He's been brilliant in the opening half. Too much space for the shots perspective, but great dynamic run. Little layoff from Malcolm, barely a touch, but it took him clear. Dewhurst though stood up, knew what he had to do, and he did it well. I think the ball cannoned off his legs, off his backside, and then he was able to turn and fall on it and gratefully clasp it. But I think Humbles will feel that he should have.
Right, here's Woodhouse feeding Ryan Jones. He's in the edge of the area, comes onto his right foot and is then pushed off the ball, and then shots get an effort away anyway through Barrett, which is weak. An interesting one there, the fact that the ball went to the Aldershot player, because I thought Jones was just pushed a little bit, nudged off the ball. It wasn't strong contact, but it might give the referee a decision to make. What do you make of it, Steve?
I'm not sure that there was enough for any decision. I think, yes, Ryan was knocked off balance, so had to slice the pass over to Josh Barrett, and then Barrett, because that pass came so unexpectedly, Barrett wasn't ready for it, and he had to improvise a little bit, and in the end he also sliced it wide with the outside of his right foot, and in the end it looked a bit clumsy, but yeah, promising play from the shots.
Free kick now to Gateshead. They take it quickly through Booty, straight through the middle, and Aaron Jones is well positioned. He heads it into touch. And it will be an attacking throw to Gateshead on the edge of the Aldershot Town, or level with the edge of the Aldershot Town penalty area. Sheaf plays a couple of 1-2s. Hannant sends the ball in. Armitage rises and wins it. Ball squared with a header by Humbles. Now Hargreaves and Humbles will battle. Widrington can't quite get a foot in. Humbles sends it out to the left hand side to Malcolm, who tries a turn which doesn't come off, and Barrett wins the ball. Theo Widrington tries the ball over the top. Jack Barham will be up against Dan Jones. Jones turns it around the corner to Horton, and Horton steers it inside to Bartley. Terrific composed play from Gateshead, who've shown all season that they will be brave, they will keep playing wherever they are on the pitch.
Yep.
And they still have the ball now on halfway. Shots 1, Gateshead 1, and you're watching NL2V or listening to BBC Radio Surrey, and if you've just joined and you're rather confused, we had around about a 30-minute stoppage in play due to medical emergency in the south stand, and so to that end we are still some 9 minutes away as a minimum of the end of the first half.
Game's still a little bit scrappy, and maybe that suits Aldershot Town. Gateshead's game is, as we've seen in pockets, all about that composed, daring, dynamic passing, moving the ball quickly, having the confidence, 1-2 touches, with Regan Booty as the quarterback, I suppose, in that defensive midfield position. None of the Gateshead players have really been to the fore apart from Humbles, but the passing in particular, about in and around their final third, yes, they've passed it really well, crisply and accurately and confidently, but the game by and large has been a little bit scrappy, and that could turn out to be to the shot's benefit.
Here's Ryan Jones trying to send the ball in. It's blocked, and it blocked into the path of Horton. Horton feels he needs to have a touch. Barham snapping away his heels, plays it into touch, so it's a throw in for Gateshead down by their own corner flag. The fascinating thing for me about this game is that whilst both sides might build up relatively patiently at times, they're both set up to hit hard and quick on the transition today, and that's made for a few bursting attacks. Here's Barrett turning and losing out to Booty. Booty plays it forward. Ellison toes it into touch. Throw into Gateshead. Rolls, grabs it quickly, wonders about the quick throw, finds Jovan Malcolm, who just bounces off of Armitage. Ball's now played by Ellison into the path of Theo Widrington, who plays it back to Dewhurst, now out to the left hand side. Tommy Widrington, in his pre-match interview highlighted that it's always a close game between these two, regardless of like league positions. It was earlier in the season up in the Gateshead International Stadium. Gateshead bossing the first half, shots the second, possibly, arguably, and ending 2-all. 1-all here last season. Aldershot nicking the game a little bit, 1-0. Real show of character towards the end of the season that gave them some real hope going into the final day of still finishing in a playoff position. Starting that day, Tommy Whittington very bravely without the services of Tollage, Stokes or Barham. A decision that proved to be the right one.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Oh, Rolls has dispossessed Armitage here. He's running to the edge of the area. He's going to try a shot from distance. He's going to send it into... it's been won and lost again. Aaron Jones won the ball. Very nearly had it wrestled off him again, and now Aldershot clear forward. And I have to say, but for some strong defensive action, there's a back pass right in front of goal, but Tiernan Brooks deals with it. Booty has a heavy touch. He's shut down by Ryan Jones, and this game's played right on the edge in the attacking third. If either team loses possession in their own half, there's another ball chipped forward into the channel on the left, and the lobbed effort is tried and over the net by the number 28 Brandon Horton, who got well forward. Steve, we've talked about that wonderful one-on-one save from Marcus Dewhouse today, but with two headers at the far post and that rescuing tackle, what a game the shot skipper Aaron Jones is having.
Yeah, he's won 3 vital defensive headers at beyond the far post, contributed that tackle, as you say, so very nearly lost it, but then recovered superbly, and then he also gives so much going forward. His attacking willingness, his crossing ability. So he's pretty much perfect for that wing back role.
A little shove in the back from Barham there onto Booty, and the referee stood alongside. Booty just feels his lower back, but I think he's okay. If we've got any Heed fans listening to this one today, obviously if you're watching on NLTV, you'll know he's okay. 1-all, and by my reckoning, we've got less than 5 minutes in the first half left. Here's Malcolm battling against Ellison. The ball breaks free, and it's cleared away as Warman looked to pick it up. I wondered if there was a shove, a foul on Ellison. Nothing was given though, and if Warman had picked that up cleanly, he could have got his effort away. So great backtracking. Was it Tyler Frost there? I'm not sure.
I think it was, yeah. Certainly the Gateshead bench were appealing for some sort of foul.
Here's Warman picking the ball up on the edge of the area and squaring it to Sheaf. Sheaf shanks one. It's a Sheaf shank, that's what it is. A Sheaf shank. Sorry listeners and viewers, it's just what came to mind at the time. He was right on the edge of the box, just inside the D, and he looked to steer it in with his right foot, but it was high, it was wide, and it wasn't very handsome. Goal kick to the shots. And Steve, with your thoughts on that Sheaf shank?
I don't think I need to say any more.
No, 4 minutes.
You've absolutely said it all.
Yeah, 4 minutes until half time. And it remains Aldershot Town 1, Gateshead 1 here at the EBB Stadium, between the sides which started the day in 18th and 4th place. Ball up towards Armitage is missed, headed forward by Rolls, and then Aaron Jones heads it down, hooks it over his head. Barham jumps. Is he pushed in the back? Nothing given by the skipper Dan Jones. And then Aldershot appeal for a throw, but the ball's not out. The ball's bouncing away, and Ellison hooks it up in the air. I think this time it will find touch, and it is a throw to Gateshead. Scrappy first half, and with a really varied tempo. It's slow, quick, slow, and that's by design. That's by the design of the team's game plans. They really are set up to try and punish the opposition as soon as they win the ball back, particularly in the opposing half. Okay, here is Dan Jones with the throw right into the edge of the area. Terrific leap from Woodhouse, but he can only head clear to Gateshead players. They've got it under control again from Jones, and there's a push in the back of Woodhouse. Really strong individual defending, and by and large, Steve, apart from that second minute goal and the moment where somehow Liam Humbles was able to just burst straight through the middle unopposed, the young centre-back trio for Aldershot have equipped themselves well out there.
They have. That said, I think Gateshead is still... Joe Van Malcolm has been imposing and tricky and powerful and a real handful to this Shots defence. And those breaking midfielders, I think the likes of Rolls and Humble, they were able to break into that space between Theo Widrington and Cameron Hargreaves and that back three a little bit too easily. The midfielders aren't tracking them, and then the attackers are running onto the defence. It's Aldershot need to get a little bit more control in that area.
Here they are trying to win the ball in midfield, and they do so. Ellison plays it through the middle. It's chested down by Jones, looking for Booty, but he only finds Barham. Good work from the Shots number 22. Aldershot meanwhile play it back across the left hand side through Woodhouse. Woodhouse up to Hargreaves, and Aldershot have a spare man in possession across the back three. Gateshead letting them have that, and then Armitage sweeps it into Aaron Jones up towards Jack Barham. Loose ball. Barham competing for it. Oh, unlucky there. Lovely little back heel from Barrett as the on-rushing Barham ran behind him, but it was just too quick his forward run, and Barrett's back heel goes into touch. But you hear the little ripple of applause from the Shots faithful in the North Stand, who appreciated the idea at least.
They did, yeah. If Jack could have taken it in his stride, or even if it had hit Jack's instep and gone with him on that burst down the line, it would have been a fantastic piece of play. But absolutely, you've got to applaud the idea from Josh Barrett, if not quite the execution.
We've got 30 seconds of allotted time left in the first half. There may be more added. Widrington jumps with Booty illegally, according to referee Robert Massey Ellis, who checks his watch before or just after blowing the whistle to give Gateshead a free kick halfway inside their own half on this left hand side. On a day where both sides have started quickly and look to pounce whenever they possibly can when the other team is dispossessed inside their own half. And then we've had some scrappy passages of play as well, and of course a 30-minute stoppage in this first half. So a number of the majority of the other games in the National League are well underway now in the second half. Here referee doesn't add anything extra to the 31, and it is 1-1 at half time after those second and fifth minute goals for Heed and Shots respectively. All square at the break. Aldershot Town 1, Gateshead 1. Steve Gibbs, with your thoughts on that first half, which feels like the vast majority of a match.
It does. It does, yeah. I think the opening 15 minutes hasn't quite continued after the restart. I think maybe in a way both teams will be grateful for half time, for a proper break, to be able to regroup, recompose themselves. Gateshead have shown a lot of threat going forward, particularly from those attacking midfielders playing off and around Joe Van Malcolm, who's been excellent, leading the line for Gateshead, a real danger, powerful threat at number 9, but also someone who can drop deep and turn and get up ahead of steam. He will give this Aldershot defence no respite this afternoon. I think for Gateshead, they would want to get more composure on the ball. They've not been their usual assured selves, apart from maybe in the final third occasionally. The Shots need to get more control in their own final third, particularly the area between defence and midfield. I think Gateshead have exploited that space very well. And then a little bit more cohesion up front, because clearly there is a little bit of maybe a lack of organisation, a lack of experience and familiarity amongst some of the Gateshead team. And if Aldershot Town can get their game going, their own assured passing game and fluid, lightning quick counter-attacks, then they could definitely get something from this. At the moment, finely poised, a little bit of an anticlimax after the thrilling start, but we hope that the second half can find that cohesion and composure, and we'll enjoy the game that we expected. That's
Steve Gibbs. Before we take a little break ourselves, for half time. Let's have a look at the state of play in the other games in the National League this afternoon. We had an early kick-off in which the league leaders Barnet scored in the 93rd minute to beat Dagenham and Redbridge. My most up-to-date scores, Steve, I don't know if you can get them up, please. My phone only updates periodically. I think it's just temporarily out of signal, so I don't want to run through too many scores here. I did just see a couple flash up, but I can see they're not necessarily so. So Rochdale are 3-0 up against Wealdstone, Craig's going to do it, so why don't you listen to Craig?
There was an early kick-off in the National League today. That finished Barnet 1, Dagenham 0. Other half or later scores are FC 5-0 at Braintree 2, Preston United 0, Woking 1, Eastleigh 1, Hartlepool 1, Halifax 1, Yeovil 0, Maidenhead 0, Sutton United 1, Rochdale 3, Wealdstone 0, Solihull 1, Ebbsfleet 1, Southend 2, Altrincham 0, and Tamworth 1, Oldham 1. The winning 50-50 numbers, 4 prizes today. The first prize is for £110 and the winning ticket number is 77586. The second prize is for £90.
Just to mention that the Shots management team, who always let the players go in first and then gather for a little meeting, are still there some 2 or 3 minutes after the teams have gone in. So are they considering a half-time tactical change, perhaps, Steve? We'll have to wait and see, of course. But what would you make of it, really? Both sides scored in that first 5 minutes, and I think I'd be honest enough to say Gateshead shaded that first half. They probably created more chances and looked more like scoring again. I just wonder if the Shots management team are contemplating a change that might perhaps really give their team more of a foothold in the game.
Yeah, I would think so. Now they're finally slowly making their way up the stairs towards the dressing room, down the tunnel. I think so. I don't, whether it'll be that defensive midfield area where I think Gateshead have held sway, and the time and space that they've had, the movement that Gateshead have showed to trouble the Aldershot Town defence and get in around and behind the Shots back three, then it's absolutely something that I think needs to be addressed. It might also be a way of stopping them at source. The way that Aldershot Town can keep possession better, show more of their own qualities. Because I think both areas have been conspicuous in the opening 45 minutes of football that we've had.
All right, thank you, Steve Gibbs. Just a few more details on some of the other National League games. Tarin Alarakia is on the score sheet again for Rochdale. They're almost out of sight against Wealdstone, who, having got some slightly better form, managed to lose 4 goals at home to Gateshead last week, and they're 3-0 down there at Rochdale. Toby Edser, the former Shot, has been sent off for Ebbsfleet in their game, which is 1-1 at Solihull Moors. Ebbsfleet haven't equalised right on half time. And we'll stand down, listeners. We'll be back for the second half in whatever time it starts.
Okay, the £1,000 is safe, but David Richards do something about that. Richards playing for £1,000. Okay, a bit of height for the £1,000 safe. Let's see if we can send them home with a bit of pocket money. Second go to James, have your own time. Come on, Rick, give us some entertainment.
Gary has messaged me to say, hi Rob, enjoying the comms. Please can you say hello to Andrew Carville, who's listening in Northern Ireland. Come on, you shots.
Here's James.
And a hello to John Ross as well, if you're listening in Northern Ireland. We can't mention one Northern Ireland shot without mentioning another. I'm sure there's others as well, but John's the one that I know. 1-1, and if you're just joining us, it's half time here. Steve and I are here in the background, but I think there's still 7, 8, 9 minutes perhaps of half time left.
Thank you, Paul. Aldershot Town's next fixture is this coming Tuesday evening when we host Leeds United under-21s in the National League Cup. Kick-off is at 7 o'clock. On Thursday evening we'll travel to AFC Colchester in the semi-final of the Hampshire League Cup, kicking off at 7:45. A week today we'll return to Panorama National League action with a trip to Altrincham, and then follow that with an away fixture with Maidenhead United on Tuesday the 18th. The Shops Away Travel Group are running coaches to our upcoming away games, Colchester, Altrincham, Maidenhead and Wilmsted. Departure time of Colchester on Thursday is 5 o'clock and the fare is £20. Altrincham, the coach leaves at 8:30 with a cost of £47 for members and £50 for non-members. And for both Maidenhead and Wilmsted, the coach is leaving at 5:15, the fare £22 for members and £25 for non-members for both of those trips. To book a place on any of those, please email the Shops Away Travel Group at gmail.com.
Score update from Boston. Boston 1, Woking 1. Just chit-chatting on and off, listeners. I'm going to ask Steve a question about the Aldershot Town substitutes today, who are Jordi van Stappershoef, Luke Jenkins. Good to see that he's fit and available if needed. We don't know how fit he is on his recovery from his latest setback, but clearly they feel that he can come on and do a job if he needs to. Kai Corbett, Brad Dollahan, Max Mullins, Manny Madja and Tariq Uwakwe. Now, my question's about Max Mullins. I guess as much as he made it clear and evident in his BBC post-match interview a couple of weeks ago that he does play in training every day as a striker these days, and he comes on as a striker. I guess after Luke Jenkins, he'd possibly, and the possibility of course to move Aaron Jones back into the back three, or Theo Widrington, he could also be called upon as a centre-back because he has played there in the past.
He absolutely could, yeah. He is one of those players that's versatile enough and got the quality enough that he can play in a number of positions, but certainly his first forays into the Aldershot Town first team were, he was known as a defender, and then he became known as an auxiliary emergency striker, and now he's established himself as an attacker in this squad. But certainly given the potential paucity of options that Aldershot have any more injuries, and they really will be struggling. They've lost Christian Magoma. Tommy Widgington in his programme notes today suggests that Ollie Scott is going to be missing for the longer term as well. Ollie Harfield we all know about, and now with Luke Jenkins seemingly unable to complete 90 minutes on any given day and string a number of games together, absolutely he'd be an option. And that's the versatility, the blessing of that versatility amongst a number of players in this squad, that they will be called upon, they will be needed, and that versatility helps them get game time, helps them get minutes that in the tumult of a game sometimes needs must. You can only select 18 players, and if you've exhausted all your first choice options in a certain position, then if you can do a job for the remainder of a game, then absolutely it could be absolutely invaluable for Aldershot Town.
Something from Victoria Rogers' programme notes, our programme editor. As it stands, Shots are currently in line to play 57 matches this season, and that's not including Hampshire Senior Cup games. Wow. And of course, being in the quarterfinals of the National League Cup, the semi-finals of the Hampshire Senior Cup and the semi-finals of the FA Trophy, there's potential for more games. Gateshead are out for the second half. And
it'll be interesting to see what squad Tommy takes down in the Hampshire Senior Cup on Thursday, down to Porchester. It's become, by design of the management team, a first team competition this year, and Tommy did say the benefits of using the first team in those games is that Sittingbourne maybe wasn't so much of a culture shock, and if it does help Aldershot Town get through to the final of the FA Trophy, then that will be justification enough. But when you're playing Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, for me, Aldershot Town's first team squad, genuine first team squad, isn't deep enough or fit enough to warrant those 4 games. Something might have to give, either against Leeds United under 21s on Tuesday, or against Porchester, or maybe both on Thursday. That there may have to be some rotation and maybe a slightly weaker first team squad that plays one or both of those games. And now the shots are coming out.
They are indeed, and we've just had confirmation of a Gateshead substitute at half time. Max Sheaf, the number 10, has gone off, and he will be replaced by Tyrell Sellers Fleming, the number 27. Chatting to Joe and Bob, Heed fans who live in Peterborough, but Bob certainly is a season ticket holder at the GIS. Travelled part of my journey here today with them from Waterloo, and we had a good old chinwag about the whole Gateshead squad and who's still there, who's not there, who's injured, who's not injured, and that's one of the players that we talked about, Tyrell Sellers Fleming. I think he also came off the bench in the week as well, Steve.
Yeah, he's a real promising player, a striker, a winger, similar to what we've seen with those Gateshead attacking midfielders, particularly Sheaf, running through midfield, playing that kind of dynamic number 10 role. He can really excel. And again, whatever we said about the first half with Gateshead breaking through midfield, Sellers Fleming will be able to do exactly the same.
Okay, we're underway here in the second half. Aldershot now kicking towards the East Bank end in this second half, and I'll run through the teams with you in just a moment. Sellers Fleming, who's come on, is just 19 years old, and he's on loan from Hull till the end of the season. Here he is on the ball now, sending it into the path of Jovan Malcolm, who feeds Warman on the left. Warman goes back momentarily, and Gateshead elect to keep possession. The Aldershot Town starting lineup in the second half is as it was in the first. Ball forward. Sellers Fleming looks to just a hand in the back of Ellison, not enough for a free kick. The ball's in touch. Hannon's gone over to get it. So for the shots, Dewhurst in goal, Ellison, Woodhouse and Armitage as centre backs, Frost, Hargreaves, Widrington and Jones across the middle. Ryan Jones supporting Barrett and Barham in attack. Throw-in's been taken. Hannon's on the ball. Widrington well positioned wins it, and then Tyler Frost has it momentarily, and then Bartley comes away with the ball, looks to play it back to the number 27. Free kick's been given against Gateshead, not for the foul on Widrington but the subsequent foul on Ellison. A little bit of chaos there, but we're a minute and a half into the second half, and it remains Aldershot Town 1, Gateshead 1. Gateshead line up as follows. Tiernan Brooks in goal, back three of Horton, Jones and Bartley, and then across the middle Booty, Humbles, Rolls and Hannon, with Warman and now Sellers Fleming supporting Jovan Malcolm in attack. A reminder that Jack Rolls put Gateshead ahead after 2 minutes, and shots levelled through top scorer Josh Barrett, his 14th of the season after 5.
It actually looks like Sellers Fleming is the furthest forward. He's come on and started in the number 9 position, and it's Campbell who's maybe dropped slightly back, or maybe as a withdrawn striker. It's at least one up front for Gateshead, possibly two now, with Campbell looking to utilise that, his ability to drop deep, turn, build up a head of steam and run with pace and power at the Shots defence.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it, because I think Booty looks more central now and Rolls looks more out on the right, so there's a number of changes. There's a ball played forward, expertly headed back to his goalkeeper by Bartley, despite the late afternoon wintry sunshine in his eyes as he did so. The ball is with Tiernan Brooks. Welcome back to our BBC Surrey online listeners, and of course to our NLTV viewers. There's a ball straight through the middle. Ellison does well, wins the header against Malcolm. Now Rolls is on the ball, plays it up to Sellers Fleming. Good strength from Luca Woodhouse to wrestle the ball off him, and then Aldershot play it up to Widrington and Ryan Jones. Jones back to Frost. Frost exchanges passes with Luca Woodhouse. That's good football. Then played forward to Widrington, who had a really difficult ball to control there and just steered it back out to the left. Gateshead momentarily got on it, and Aldershot wrestled possession back again, and they've gone back to Marcus Dewhurst. He's going to kick long. He's forced to kick long out to the right hand side. Aaron Jones jumps, heads it inside. That's a magnificent header taken down by Ryan Jones. He's got 3 Gateshead players around him, and he loses out. Widrington tries the tackle on Bartley, but he can't win it, and Bartley still spraying it around. I think he's up into midfield. I think they've changed again. There's another 1-2, and Armitage does well. There's an offside against Gateshead. I think they've changed at least 5 positions for this second half, Steve. No, he's dropping back in now, but it's just so fluid, isn't it? That's what it is.
It is. It's difficult to see. He's almost playing as wing back, Hannon, which is definitely one of his positions, but he was certifiable midfielder in the first half.
Frost sending the ball forward out the left hand side. Barrett takes it under control, and then he is given offside. And I think everybody in the ground and everybody watching and listening wanted a more cohesive, a smoother game in the second half, but it's not happening, is it, due to sides being bossed out of possession by infringements, by stoppages. It's a game that's got the potential to be so easy on the eye. It just can't. The game can't get momentum, can it?
It can't. No. And I think both teams are settling into the Gateshead's new structure. They're getting used to finding their feet, and then the Aldershot Town players are reacting to what's in front of them, all anew. And it should be a fascinating clash of styles, but both teams with great football.
Widrington's given the ball away, and it's been picked up by Malcolm. He's to the edge of the area and tries a shot, and it's another wonderful save down to his right by Marcus Dewhurst. And It's gone behind for a corner. It'll be the 5th one of the afternoon. Gateshead pressing so well, they're setting traps everywhere. Booty to take this corner. 1-1. 51 minutes, almost complete. In comes the ball. Header towards goal is on target from Dan Jones, but straight at Marcus Dewhurst. Shots try the early goal kick. If they can get it under control, it'll be 2 against 2. Barham's got a good touch. He's into the area now. Looks to get the ball in. It's blocked behind for a corner. Lovely, competing well again as ever, Barham. He got the 50-50, but then he was forced wide, and all he could do was try and square the ball, and it was cut behind for a corner, which I think is Shot's just their 2nd of the game, is it, or 3rd?
Correct, their 2nd.
Yeah. Barrett's out there to take it. It's got the possibility of a short corner to Ryan Jones, but Marcus Dewhurst with a terrific save there. In comes the corner. It's going to drift away into touch again, and it hits the corner flag and goes out for a throw, and Luca Woodhouse can't believe it. It looked like it was going to be, well, it's Aldershot's set piece.
Yeah, but it's still a throw in for the shot. It took a wicked headed deflection off one of the Gateshead defenders, I think it was Bartley, and looped up agonisingly towards the corner flag, but from a shot's perspective, rebounded the wrong side.
Okay, in it comes the throw to the near post, flicked on, hooked away clear. Shots players down inside the area, nothing given. Aldershot recycle it. Frost heads it into the path of where he hoped a Shots player would be. Gateshead clear it forward. Frost sends it forward down the left hand side. Bartley will win it in the air, and now Ryan Jones jumps, and the ball again runs kindly for Gateshead, and Humble sends it out to Hannon. Hannon back to Bartley, and Bartley to his keeper. Keeper plays it to Humbles right in the edge of their own area, and Gateshead get it and turn, and they're on the counter attack. Booty feeding the ball up to Sellers Fleming, and now Malcolm sends it out to the left hand side to Warman. He gets the ball back level with the edge of the penalty area, goes forward. Can he keep the ball in play? I don't think so. It's not been given as out of play though. Looked over the line, but it's not been given. It's been tracked down, and good strength by Theo Widrington, who ends up fouling Humbles, and he's going to get a yellow card for his troubles as well, because it was a good battle actually, and then as Humbles just turned him, he had his hands on his waist and impeded him. Yeah. And referee Robert Maciellis shows I think the first yellow card of the game, Steve.
It is the first yellow card of the game, and unfortunately for Theo, entirely deserved. It was I think there's some Six Nations rugby going on this afternoon. It was would have been more fitting on maybe on the pitch at the Aviva Stadium than on the Ebb Stadium, but yeah, and to add injury to insult, Theo is now receiving treatment. Whether that's hurt pride or genuine pain, I'm not quite sure.
1-1, 54 minutes gone, at least our 2nd or 3rd stoppage of the second half, and Widrington is up and coming to the sidelines. I think he's got a little bit of a bloody nose or mouth, I think, is what it looks like.
Yeah, he was certainly tapping his fingers, dabbing his fingers at either his gums or his lips.
Okay, free kick to Gateshead in the 55th minute, 1-1 here at the EBB. Booty's going to take it. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger, fairly high defensive line from Shots. At least 2 Gateshead players are stood prior to it being taken in offside positions. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving. Dan Jones involved there, the referee having a word in his ear. Bartley remains in an offside position. In comes the ball. There's a little flick on off the head of a Shots player, Tyler Frost, I think.
It was.
And it continues on its journey through the corridor of uncertainty and away behind the goal, away to our right, and goes behind for another Gateshead corner. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, vital flick from Tyler Frost. The delivery looked a little bit flat initially from Regan Booty, but it was dangerous nonetheless.
Again, Booty stands over the set piece. In it comes to the far post. Malcolm's up but can only head it. It's drifting out of touch behind the goal, away to our right. Bartley chases it momentarily but can't keep it in. It will be a goal kick to the Shots. And it remains here, Aldershot Town 1, Gateshead 1, as we approach the 56th minute. Fylde losing already 2-0 at home to Braintree, have now had Jonathan Oosterbassi sent off. Woking have somehow scored again, I think, to go 2-1 up at Boston. Rochdale are now 4-1 up against Wealdstone, so they're tasting, unfortunately, the wrong end of a 4-1 scoreline, similar to last week. And Jack Cook had momentarily brought them back into it, but Rochdale ahead now and almost out of sight. Is Barham sending a ball forward, looking for Barrett, tries to take it down, but is just beaten to it by Horton, who sends the ball out to Jevon Malcolm over on the left hand side, scurrying after it. Now he's 1-on-1 up against Armitage, twists back onto his left, onto his right, now back onto his right, tries the shot, deflects up in the air. Hannant lets it bounce in front of him and go behind for another corner to Gateshead, who were thwarted by Aldershot here last season. 1-1 it finished, as they were probably felt they were the side more deserving of a win. Aldershot are readying Maxi Mullins to come on, at least one substitution for them. Booty with the corner, and it comes headed away by Luca Woodhouse, unmarked inside his own penalty area, gives it to Booty. Booty steers it inside, cleared away by Widrington, and that's up towards Barham, who surely is pushed in the back. Now we've had that same foul, Steve, so many times today, and the referee has given it sometimes but doesn't give it then. And that was, there's a giveaway from Bartley, who chops down Theo Widrington, who has played it quickly. Ryan Jones is in, and Ryan Jones has scored. The referee has allowed the quickly taken free kick, and the Shots have played it forward, and Ryan Jones has ghosted onto it, drifted into the penalty area and fired it past Tiernan Brooks. Goal to Ryan Jones, goal to Aldershot. Kudos to the referee for his quick smart thinking. Gateshead won't be happy about it, but it is Aldershot Town 2, Gateshead 1. Steve Gibbs.
Fantastic finish from Ryan Jones, lifted it confidently, unerringly into the roof of the net, beyond Tiernan Brooks, who tried to come out and narrow the angle. But that goal, credit to Theo Widrington. He's now walking back to the halfway line, thumping his chest, thumping the shirt, I think probably pointing to the badge. He was fouled, but he had the quickness of thought and quickness of movement to get up, make sure the ball was stationary, and play the free kick. And that was quicker than anybody in that position, probably quicker than anyone on the pitch. And that is what allowed Ryan Jones to go through and do his thing.
Well done.
He takes a lot of criticism, Theo. Yeah. Some of it deserved, some of it is his own doing, but that shows his quality.
Armitage has given it away, but it's fallen nicely into the path of Marcus Dewhurst. That is how you respond.
Actually, I don't know if you saw it, Tommy, and I think unnecessarily so, stood facing the north stand with his fingers in his ear, suggesting, well, that's shut you up, hasn't it?
To be fair, Tommy's been playing the crowd all afternoon.
He has.
He's always kicks every ball, heads every ball, reacts to every comment, and that's Tommy's way, and it's always been the way.
And football is theatre, to be fair.
Absolutely.
And Tommy appreciates the sense of theatricality that football and a passionate football crowd brings.
Throw in at the other end to Gateshead, who've been probing. They've changed the formation around in terms of some of the players playing it and made a substitution at half time, and they have probably looked the side more likely between 45 minutes and an hour to regain the lead, but it's the Shots who have it. Brilliant quick thinking from Theo Widrington, quickly taken free kick after he was fouled, and Aldershot on the attack, and Ryan Jones showing good composure, just like Josh Barrett did. Worthy of mention, both goals that Aldershot have scored today, they've got the ball, they've got into the area, and then they've shown composure. And I think that might be the end of Theo Widrington's afternoon, you know.
I think so, yeah. There seems to be some concern, particularly from Tyler Frost. Not quite sure how that injury has come about, but Theo is in a large degree of discomfort, and Tyler Frost, if nobody else, seems concerned. Yeah, Tyler Frost has made that rotating fingers, I think, gesture, the universal signal that a substitution is needed.
I think if we go back 5 minutes, I think the treatment he needed down here was definitely for a facial injury. Now, when he was fouled inside the Gateshead half, there may well have been something then, but his first thought was to take the free kick and play it forward. And forgive me, I can't remember if there was another pass to Ryan Jones after that, or whether it was the assist for Theo.
Yeah.
He certainly played his part, and he's in some discomfort now. So I don't know whether he was injured in the foul. Aaron Jones is signalling for him to have to come off Theo Widrington.
Yeah, it looks like Manny Madja is going to be the man brought on.
Yeah, and Aldershot, who've had a sort of ongoing revolving door on the treatment room all season. I would have said probably 90 minutes ago, we're not in too bad a shape, but not 90 minutes. Let's start again. 2 or 3 games ago, I say they were in pretty good shape with players returning, but since then they've lost Ollie Scott and Christian Maghomer for lengthy times, quite possibly for the rest of the season. Not really confirmed, and they never will be confirmed, of course.
No.
And now,
but Tommy did suggest that pretty explicitly in his programme notes. So I think if Tommy is saying that, it's not looking good at all for Theo, and bearing in mind that he has ran since the tackle he was fouled and he took quickly for the assist for the goal. I wonder if it's something that has happened since, because he's got his head in his hands. He's tried to come off with shoulders of 2 players around him. He desperately didn't want a stretcher to come on, but they've had to now bring the stretcher on for Theo Widrington, and that's the end of his afternoon and possibly longer. So Manny Madja has the responsibility of coming on now alongside Theo Widrington, who I really, really hope, Steve, gets a generous applause from the North Stand. I mean, for the assist, if nothing else, to Ryan Jones's goal, he deserves praise and lavish plaudits, because particularly if he did suffer the injury in that tackle, then he's done really well, and he's been really brave in getting up and having the clarity of thought to play the ball in, and he is now being stretchered off down
sadly
towards
away to our right. And I think anybody who's ever been at the EBB, Steve, knows what that means. It'll be further checks at a hospital for Theo Widrington, who goes off on a stretcher with his head in his hands. We don't know when he sustained the injury, we don't know what it is, but what we do know, he was incredibly brave a few moments earlier, chopped down for a foul. He may or may not have received the injury then, but he quickly restarted play, and it led to a goal for Ryan Jones, and the Shots lead by 2-1. And further delays, heaven knows what time today's game is going to end.
Yeah, it's 4:52 already, and we still have, what do we have? 26 minutes of normal time, plus any stoppage time, and there will be a significant amount of that in the second half as well.
Well, can Aldershot recompose themselves and get on with the job in hand? Here's Hargreaves sending it forward. Gateshead head it forward, back again, sorry. Aaron Jones sends it on to Ryan Jones. And Gateshead meanwhile go all the way back to Tiernan Brooks, and Aldershot pressing, very nearly win the ball back. It's fascinating, isn't it, the way that Gateshead play? It's lovely to watch. It's risky football. Here's another ball out to the right hand side. Sellers Fleming chasing, Ellison doing really well, good strength to get there first and clear it. He tried to clear it for a throw, he couldn't quite steer it into touch that way, and it will be another corner to Gateshead. Regan Booty comes over to take it. So a pretty young side, Aldershot Town, with 3 or 4 experienced players. One of those has now gone off, and we wish Theo Widgerton all the best. Here's the corner taken short, Hannant sending it in. It's headed on by an Aldershot player out to Sellers Fleming on the far side, but he's deemed to be in an offside position. And well, we'll not get too carried away looking at other scores in terms of their bearing on this game, but we will, of course, as always, give you the latest scores as they come in. One or two of them ending now. Fylde have lost 2-0 at home to Braintree, and it's ended Boston 2, Woking 2. Neil Ardley loves to draw as well, doesn't he? Gyro with a 90 plus 2 minute equaliser there. And meanwhile, Dewhurst taking the goal kick. It's knocked down. Header won by Booty. Gateshead send it inside. And now Booty goes back to his keeper, Tiernan Brooks. He plays it out to Barham. Barham pressing, snapping away. Just looking to get one moment. Gateshead send a lovely ball out to the left. Hargreaves is motoring over to try and win it back if he can. Gateshead keep it. Booty's going to send it forward. Armitage takes it under control, blocks it well. But Gateshead win the ball on the left-hand side. The whistle is not on the pitch. They're continuing with the run. Malcolm on the left-hand side tries to get his cross in. It's gone behind the goal. It'll be another corner to Gateshead. They must be closing in on double figures, Steve.
I think this is their 9th.
I'm not sure what's happened there. I looked away. Oh, maybe Dewhurst.
Yeah, I think Dewhurst came running out and was carrying the ball above his head, and I think he just collided with a Gateshead player.
I don't think maybe he'd heard the whistle, or he realised that it was going to be another corner, or he disagreed with it. Anyway, here's Booty with the corner. In it comes. Dewhurst rises and catches it, and he could throw it here to Hargreaves if he sees him, but we always have to remember we've got that slight little bit of extra elevation here. Frost manages to get away, at least up to halfway, and now over halfway on the left side. Ryan Jones wants it ahead of him. Barham makes a forward run. He's onto it, holds it up. 2 Gateshead players on him. Is poked into touch, throw into the shots. Aldershot scrapping for whatever they can get. We've got 22 minutes left plus whatever's added, and we would expect a generous amount of added time again in this second half, maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes, who knows, and that's just based on what we've seen so far. Mullins still awaits to come on. Liam Jenkins, by the looks of it, might come on as well. Aldershot Town with the long throw. Ryan Jones headed up in the air and away by Jones, headed nicely into the path of Ryan Jones by Frost. Finds Josh Barrett. Barrett sends a ball into the far post now, headed away, edge of the area to Hargreaves, heads it back in, headed away by Warman, taken under control by Hargreaves, and he feeds it back to Ellison, and Ellison feeds Woodhouse to Hargreaves, and Aldershot keeping possession really well here. 69 minutes now completed. Shots 1, Gateshead 1. Cleared forward by Dewhurst, and then it's going to come all the way back to him from a Gateshead header. And Steve, it's going to be all about getting through the rest of the game in instalments, but the last 5 or 6 minutes Aldershot have done really well. They've kept the ball, and here's Ryan Jones sending the ball around the corner. I think he just thought Tyler Frost had gone, but he hadn't.
Yeah, it's about game management now. They've got the lead, don't need to do anything stupid, commit too many bodies forward. Just, I think do what we said they'd need to do at the start of the game. Just work hard out of possession, try and snuff out Gateshead's passing and movement.
Here's Ryan Jones on halfway, cuts inside, assesses his options, and then he sends it down the left channel, hoping that Barrett can go after it. He does go after it, but Bartley gets there first. Then Madger with a strong-headed winner, and it's going to find touch. It was so powerful, but a real mission there for Manny Madger. And Aldershot are going to make some substitutions. So first of all, Josh Barrett, who put the shots ahead this afternoon, is going to be replaced on 70 minutes by Maxi Mullins. I think there'll be a straight swap, Steve?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, a little bit more direct running, a little bit more work rate from from Maxi.
And Liam Jenkins is going to come on for Dan Ellison for Aldershot Town. Really good solid game from Dan Ellison, who hasn't played any 90-minute football games for a while, has he? So, or not many anyway that I can recall.
No.
So sensible decision that. Right, and Luke Jenkins comes into the heart of defence.
Yeah, and also easing Jenkins back in gently as well. You don't want to risk any recurrence of his injuries, because Aldershot Town are going to need all the fit defenders they can muster.
Huge clearance across his own back half from one of the Gateshead centre backs and into touch. And Aldershot have been very good value since they took the lead. They may have been a bit surprising that they took the lead when they did, but since the goal, Steve, they've really looked comfortable with that lead.
Yeah, I think it's knocked Gateshead out of their stride a little bit. And the shots have settled. I think that goal has given them the composure and the peace of mind that they didn't have earlier in the game.
Aldershot have taken the throw. They're coming back down the right side and now across their defence. Woodhouse has played the ball up to Tyler Frost. And Aldershot play it down the left. Can Barham keep it in? Well, no, he can't. It's going to be a goal kick to Gateshead, and we've had 72 minutes gone. Shots to Gateshead 1, and in our ears we've been listening to commentary of the Brighton and Hove Albion win, a late winner in late winner in that one. Here's a flick on from Warman. It's going to go all the way through though to Marcus Dewhurst, who at the very last minute grabs it and jogs to the edge of his box, and I think he's going to kick long here. The short is on with Jenkins, but shots to Gateshead 1, and we've got 17 minutes left. In possession now, Hannant for the home side, and Aldershot might press and win it here. Tyler Frost is fouled, and it's going to be an immediate red card for Bartley, and we have to hope that Tyler Frost is okay, but the referee Robert Massielis showing no doubt there, and no complaints either from Bartley. Steve Gibbs, your opinion?
I was expecting a yellow.
Me too.
And I think that possibly would have been Bartley's second yellow, so I think he was the player who fouled Theo Widrington. So a red card is the right decision, but I was expecting a second yellow to be the kind of the conduit for that, the catalyst for that. But now, on an afternoon of injuries, Tiernan Brooks, the Gateshead goalkeeper, is down on his back, lifting his right leg, flexing his right knee, right on the edge of the penalty area.
Steve, I want to just say that when a team gets a player sent off, and I am not casting aspersions on Tiernan Brooks here, we hope that he's okay, but it is a bit of a standard move in football these days when you need a bit of time to get an instruction to the goalkeeper to go down. So hopefully for Heed fans watching or listening, hopefully Tiernan Brooks is okay, and Gateshead just having a little bit of thinking time here before they decide what next change they make. He's certainly up on his feet, Tiernan Brooks, and well, the one thing I don't think I've had the opportunity to mention is that Tyler Frost is absolutely fine. Shots fans listening on, if you are watching on, you'd have realised that he is okay. I think for Gateshead, the Frenchman Jean Bellahouan is going to come on. Jean Bellahouan is the substitute that's going to come on for Gateshead, the Frenchman, Steve.
Yeah, he's the only natural defender on the Gateshead bench. Bramwell also is a centre back, but yeah, Bellahouan is probably the logical choice.
Yeah, 14 minutes gone. I beg your pardon, the number 14, I beg your pardon, coming on. And 14 minutes left is what I meant to say. 14 and a half minutes left. Aldershot now have this free kick. They are 2-1 up. Gateshead down to 10 men. Ryan Jones sends it in. It's headed up and away. Headed back forward by Hargreaves. Breaks loose to the edge of the area. Aldershot have recycled the ball. Aaron Jones has got it. He's the deepest player at the minute. Sends it out to the left side. Looking for Jack Barham, who's onside. Keeps the ball in play. Comes back to Tyler Frost. Frost sending it into the far post. Headed up and away. Woodhouse is up there. Battling away for it. Needs to try not to give a foul away. Warman sends it inside. It's sent forward. And Sellers Fleming chases Luke Jenkins, who manages to play it back to Dewhurst. Lovely ball from Dewhurst to Ryan Jones. He gets the applause of his manager for the right ball at the right time. And meanwhile, Gateshead come forward down the left-hand side with Liam Humbles. Now they send it back inside to Dan Jones. So they've got a different puzzle to solve here, Gateshead. They'll play the same way, I'm absolutely sure. With the risky football at 2-1 down. They've got to do it with 10 men now.
Yeah. I mean, with 11 or 10 men, they'd have to commit bodies forward because they're trying to get back into the game.
There's a lovely overlapping run from Joe Van Malcolm. He's up against Liam Jenkins there on the left side, twisting, turning. Jenkins goes to ground, wins the ball cleanly, but then can only poke it to Humbles. Humbles sends a cross into the far side, and that will drift away behind the goal. And for another corner, there's a deflection on it that I couldn't see, and it will be double figures for Gateshead. Is that 10 or 11 corners now?
10.
Yeah, 10 corners. You just haven't crossed your gates off on your bar like I
haven't been doing that, and
which is why I knew it was
Bellahun is coming on for Warman. He's the player sacrificed.
Yeah, understandable change that. The big Frenchman coming on. Looks as though he will be into the back three, but initially he's going to come racing on to try and get on the end of this set piece. It's headed away by Madger. Ryan Jones jumps, gets a little bit of contact on it. Barham holds it, plays it into the path of Tyler Frost. If Tyler Frost can send it over to Mullins, he might get in. He's not quite got the pace on it. Mullins sends it back to Barham. Barham realises that Frost is out on the left. Frost squares it across and it gets deflected. Just takes a little bit of power off it, and Gateshead respond, but they clear it away. Shots trying to make use now of the extra man whenever they can. The game has picked up in terms of its speed, in terms of its intensity. Gateshead down to 10, but they brought on the big Frenchman, Jean Bellahun. There's a lovely ball from Ryan Jones down the left side to Max Mullins. He's pushed over. Shots have got a free kick. And as much as they want to kick on and try and find a third goal if they can, they don't need to rush this, Steve. They've got 11 minutes left, plus we suspect upwards of 5 minutes added time. There's the crowd today. 62 Heed supporters amongst a total attendance of 2,188. Terrific attendance this afternoon. After 1,500, 1,600 the last couple of midweeks. Usually get more for a Saturday game, of course. But free kick then now to the shots. All 5 yards in from the byline. Ryan Jones is going to take a left-footed out swinger. Halfway between the touchline and the penalty area. Up steps Ryan Jones, plays it low to Hargreaves, and Hargreaves, I'm not sure whether he was trying to divert it towards goal or send it to the far post, but it got a little bit underneath it, went very high behind the goal away to our left. And Aldershot trying to do something a bit different, Steve. It didn't come off, but we applaud the invention.
Absolutely, yeah, nice idea. I think they've probably been watching, I think a few set pieces like that in the Premier League have been scored recently. I think Liverpool scored a goal very similar against Manchester City possibly, and I think another team, possibly Bournemouth, scored something very similar not too long ago. It's good to have that little bit of ingenuity and improvisation.
Here's Ryan Jones getting away down the left, squares it. Barham! Jack Barham gets on the shots might just have put this game to bed in the 81st minute. Lovely ball in from Ryan Jones. I think the first intended player in red and blue couldn't get on the end of it, but Barham could, and Barham gets the goal that he's deserved for so many hard-working performances in recent weeks. Jack Barham on the spot inside the 6-yard box makes it Aldershot Town 3, Gateshead 1.
Yeah, the ball was running through the 6-yard box, right across the goal mouth. I think the Gateshead defender was the favourite initially to get it, but Jack reacted so quickly, so aggressively, he made it his. And for that alone, he deserves that goal. 3-1. Shots have breathing space. Against 10 men, you would think that's 3 points. Don't believe it. This Gateshead team can very quickly, very easily get back into this, but Shots now at least have a little bit of breathing space.
Jack Barham reaches double figures for the season in all competitions, and my goodness me, he's worked so hard across so many games for that goal. I've said to a couple of people recently, the goals aren't going in for him, but he just deserves his place in that team week in, week out, with his tireless running. And a little bit of fortune, being in the right place at the right time. Jackie on the spot. Here's Mullins holding the ball up, steers it back to Madger. Madger to Woodhouse. Woodhouse out left to Ryan Jones. Kai Corbett is going to come on for the Shots soon as well, and we may well see Tariq Uwakwe as well. Here's Barham holding the ball up on the touchline, plays it back to Ryan Jones. Now a good ball up to Tyler Frost, takes it nicely under control. He's just inside the edge of the penalty area. Tries a shot, that's blocked, and ricochets kindly for Gateshead. They play it straight through the middle, and Jenkins is in a foot race with Sellers Fleming. Oh, what a tackle from Luke Jenkins. Wonderful stuff. Wins the ball cleanly, steers it into the path of Armitage, and Aldershot regain possession. And well, an early test for those hamstrings of Luke Jenkins. Madger plays a ball down the left. Does that come off the Gateshead player? Nothing given. They take the throw. Turn inside from Jack Rolls. Strong winner from Manny Madger. And Aldershot Town, I think, on and off the pitch, collectively feel together right now here at the EBB this afternoon. And that's a feeling that we've needed for a little while. It helps, of course, winning football matches, doesn't it? But wherever you are, Theo Widrington, whether you're still waiting for an ambulance or whether you're in one and you're listening or watching the commentary, you started this with that moment of courage, possibly already injured, taking the quick free kick into the path of Ryan Jones, and that got Aldershot back level in the game. Is Jack Barham running onto a ball, and he's going to be given offside now. And it is a free kick to Gateshead, and we've got 6 minutes plus added time to go. Aldershot now are going to make a further substitution. Jack Barham's going to come off to very generous applause, Steve, to be replaced by Kai Corbett.
Yeah, Jack's done what Jack does. He's run, he's harried, he's hassled, he's played on the shoulder. He's been a thorn in Gateshead's side, and finally, deservedly, he's got his goal, getting a really warm embrace, full of smiles, with his erstwhile strike partner Josh Barrett there, sharing a joke as they sit down next to each other on the dugout. And now Kai Corbett gets an opportunity to show what he can do.
Okay, free kick taken by Brooks, one in the air by Jenkins. Corbett tries bravely to keep the ball in play, but he can't. It's hooked forward, but the throw-in has been given, and we're nearly at the end of the 85th minute now. Gateshead are going to respond with another substitution themselves. They're going to take Jovan Malcolm off, and he is going to be replaced by Ollie Thompson, the number 39, Steve.
Yeah, another attacking player, a winger, a number 10, a striker. Another one of those fluid attackers that Gateshead seem to have a never-ending supply of. Malcolm's been dangerous, hasn't quite worked for him this afternoon, he hasn't quite got into the game. Maybe Thompson can.
Throw-ins headed back into touch by Luca Woodhouse. Dan Jones is going to come and take it, the Heed skipper. They've got 4.5 minutes left plus added time. In comes another long throw. It's missed by a couple of people and then volleyed, thied I think, into the path of Ryan Jones by Manny Madger and hooked clear. Gateshead, despite having 10 men, trying to pin Aldershot back here, trying to create a bit of chaos, trying to get themselves back within a goal of a point. Oh, huge leap from Luke Jenkins, but he can only head the ball back to Dan Jones. He squares it to Humbles. Humbles 1-on-1 up against Manny Madger. Rolls has got it. Oh, Hargreaves almost took it off him. Twists, turns one way, then the other. Hargreaves is still there, snapping away, and then and Manny Madger's caught on his ankle as he tries to put a foot in. He's down now, gripping his ankle. And Ollie Thompson picks the ball up, going down the left-hand side. Rolls is trying to keep it in. We are in a chaotic game, Tim. We've got 3.5 minutes of normal time left. We had 31 added minutes in the first half. We've had significant stoppages in the second half as well. So heaven knows how long is left. 3.5 minutes plus probably 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me tell you about the game now. It was 1-1 at half time, and Gateshead looked the better side at the start of the second half, but shots quickly taken, quick free kick, quick thinking from Theo Widrington, who subsequently was stretchered off, took the free kick, and Ryan Jones burst into the area and put the shots 2-1 up, and then Ryan Jones' cross found its way through to Jack Barham on 81 minutes, and the shots 3-1 up. Bartley went off in between those two goals for Gateshead, who were down to 10. Shots 3, Gateshead 1, 2.5 minutes plus significant added time to play. Okay, had to do a very quickly summarise there to radio, an awful lot of things. That wasn't easy. Now, Jack Barham comes off, and I missed it temporarily. Who replaced him, please, Steve? Or has he just come back in from his warm-up? Yeah, sorry, we've already announced that substitution.
Yeah, Kai Corbett came on for Jack. It's
and thankfully Manny Madger
seems okay. Yes. Yeah, he's still limping, but he's come to the touchline under his own steam and seems prepared and able to come back on. Yeah,
he's been so unlucky with injury this year, and now as potentially an opportunity opens up for him, he'll be desperate to get back in. Goal kick taken, flicked on by Corbett, snaffled by the big Frenchman Jean Bellahouan. And Gateshead have got it in the back three, but they can't find a way forward at the minute. They eventually go back to their goalkeeper. Kai Corbett presses, can't win it. Half volley from Luke Jenkins, a little bit of an up and under. Frost helps it on. Maxi Mullins jumps, can't win it cleanly. Gateshead play it down the right side, and Luca Woodhouse hooks it back down Aldershot Town's left. It's picked up by Jack Rolls, plays the ball inside to Booty. Booty tries the ball down the right hand side, and Madger gets onto that, finds Corbett. Corbett turns, Jones right up against him, puts the ball into touch. We're into the 90th minute here at the EBB. It's Aldershot Town 3, Gateshead 1. Sorry if you've got an occasional bit of muffledness on the commentary. There may be an issue with the wiring here, but I'll keep going as best I can. 3-1 shots. Mullins thinks he's fouled, nothing given. Ryan Jones is going to hook the ball back forward up to the edge of the Gateshead penalty area. Dan Jones heads it into touch. He got a little shove just before he did so from Max Mullins, but that's the little shove that the referees let go 3 or 4 times today. Aldershot are going to bring on Tariq Uwakwe for his second appearance in red and blue. And there's going to be 10 added minutes now, listeners, meaning we've played a total of plus 41 today. And this game is going to finish somewhere near 5:30 p.m. Aldershot have sent the ball all across. Hannant's got it, back heels it into the path of Horton. He sends it forward to Sellers Fleming. Gateshead are giving it away again. Madger's won it, but now Aldershot have lost it, and Madger's tackling on the floor. Hargreaves is in there and won it, and he's coming away with the ball, and then he is fouled and wins the free kick and gets a clap and a fist pump from his manager. The ball's in touch, and Aldershot now can make this substitution, and they're going to take off the number 37, or they're going to bring on the number 37, Tariq Uwakwe. That's going to be a straight swap on the left hand side of the midfield for Tyler Frost after another tireless 90 minutes or so from Tyler Frost, popular as ever with the shots made.
Yeah, Tyler done everything that's expected of him, defensively, attacking wise. He'll run all day for you, whatever position you ask him to play, and he's going to be needed probably in even more of a number of positions than usual in the coming weeks.
Frost is the fifth and final Aldershot Town player to be replaced this afternoon. Ball goes all the way back to Dewhurst, clears it forward, and is won in the air by Jones, sent back by Luke Jenkins, headed forward by Rolls, headed on by Sellers Fleming, headed away by Aaron Jones, headed back by Rolls, held up by Sellers Fleming, and then the ball's been nicked by Uwekwe, who sends it forward into the path of Kai Corbett. He sends it round the corner looking for Mullins, but Horton was better placed. Uwekwe nearly cuts out the forward pass, and then it goes back to Brooks, who sends it forward. Armitage holds firm, wins the header into the path of Hargreaves. Hargreaves back to Luca Woodhouse. Woodhouse to Ryan Jones. And Ryan Jones inside. Oh, sharp turn from Woodhouse, but he turns into a bit of trouble. Ball sent in the middle, one in the air by Jenkins. Madger can bring it down, he can turn, he can spread it out to the right hand side, and he slightly overhit the ball to Aaron Jones. Probably a little bit of adrenaline on that. Back on the pitch, playing his part on the edge of a shots victory, but we've still got 7 and a quarter minutes of added time to play. 3-1 shots, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, there was a lot of adrenaline on the end of that one. He massively overhit it, Manny. But yeah, good to have him out on the pitch, and he's shown his qualities already.
There's a fall forward. Dewhurst clears it forward, and it'll go all the way through to his opposing number one. Mike Brown says, what an odd game. I hope the injured fan is okay. I'll take it, an ugly win at home. Yeah, I would add to that, we hope that Theo Widrington is okay too, as he's been stretchered off to hospital. Ball sent forward by Gateshead, headed back by Ryan Jones, headed on by Manny Madger. Now Bellahoon will head it, but he can only head it passively into the path of Uwekwe. He steers it to Kai Corbett. Corbett to Aaron Jones out on the right hand side. Back inside to Uwekwe. Uwekwe into Corbett. Corbett turns, assesses options inside of him, turns again, is brought down. Is that a free kick? Yes, it is. Free kick to Aldershot Town on the edge of the box. And step up Mr. Ryan Jones, I think, here, because he's left footed. He can strike a ball, and I think it's position A for a left footer, some 5 yards outside the box. A little bit to the right hand side on the Aldershot attack. But I think Uwekwe is interested as well, Steve. He's left-footed, of course, as well. Yeah. And we will have to wait and see.
Yeah, it is quite a distance. But yeah, if you don't shoot, you don't win the lottery. Yeah, and it's Ryan Jones who's actually taken his position as left wing back in place of Tyler Frost. Uwekwe is playing sort of in the right-sided number 10, and he's looked positive already. He's looked dangerous, a lot more composed than I think he did on Tuesday evening.
Who's going to take this free kick? Corbett takes it short, actually, to Ryan Jones, and Aldershot Town elect
corner flag time.
Keep possession. They're going to largely attack the last 5 minutes or so of added time like that. Here's Uwekwe, got with the ball on the left side, plays it in, looking for Mullins. Mullins can't get onto it. He goes down a little awkwardly. Brooks gathers the ball and sends it forward. Jenkins wins the header again. The loose ball has come out. It's come off of an Aldershot player, according to the referee. Hargreaves not too happy with that one. Throw-in's taken quickly down the line. Woodhouse heads it into the path of Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones sends it down the left side, and Mullins is battling away. He's literally pulled off the pitch by Bellahoon, who's got an absolute grip knot of the back of his shirt, but the referee can't see it and the referee can't give it. Gateshead play it forward, it will run all the way through to Dewhurst. And for large periods of this game, Aldershot had to stay in it, Stephen. For large periods, Gateshead looked like they were the side on the front foot and on the up, but they've stayed in it. They got back ahead. They've added to that lead, and they've been good value for it in this second half. A really, really good collective performance from the shots on the pitch and off it too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe Gateshead are showing signs of all those injuries, all those missing players, but the shots themselves, yeah, they've been excellent.
Now, Gateshead have played it forward, but the referee's pulled the ball back for a free kick to Gateshead, and Marcus Dewhurst needs to be a little bit careful he doesn't get done for excessive time wasting here. He's making out he doesn't know what's going on, but the ball is retrieved by Sellers Fleming, and he sends it back through Booty to Tiernan Brooks, and Gateshead, well, there's no stick or twist now. They've got a twist in these final moments, that's for sure. 3.5 of them added time left. Again, Luke Jenkins wins the ball. Again, he's fouled, and I tell you what, I'm trying to remember what minute he came on, Luke Jenkins, but he's been absolutely superb since he came on with his heading, his tackling, a true finisher.
71 minutes he came on, so he'll have played, by the time we've had the 10 minutes of stoppage time, he'll have played virtually half an hour, and he's been impeccable, and composed, unruffled. The timing of his tackling is absolutely first class. You've got Sellers Fleming trying to make a nuisance of himself in front of you, and he just wins the aerial challenge like it's heading practice in training.
I think a member of the Gateshead management team has been shown a yellow card while you were talking, Steve. Certainly I saw the referee putting his cards away and walking away from the area. Free kick's taken forward, headed away by Booty, back in by Madger, and bounces once and goes through to Tiernan Brooks, who has one option left: send it as far as he can, as long as he can, as quick as he can. Here's Uwekwe winning the ball, steering it into the path of Hargreaves. Hargreaves buys himself a bit of space. Intelligent ball across the pitch from Manny Madger. I don't envy you this afternoon trying to pick the Aldershot Town man of the match, because I think there's got to be 3 or 4 genuine contenders for it. But I didn't actually see who got the official man of the match myself. Maybe you did, Steve, but
I did.
We can give that out now. Who got that?
Ryan Jones.
Okay, Ryan Jones got the official MOM. There will be other candidates. Here is Gateshead on halfway, but it's cut out by Hargreaves. Gets it, turns 360 degrees with the ball, sees nothing else on, goes back to his keeper. Jones sends it into to Jenkins, who sends it forward, and the ball is running kindly into the path of Kai Corbett, who's making ground on the right hand side. He's up against his man, looks to square it, and very nearly steered in by Max Mullins. Threw himself at it but couldn't quite make contact. Carries on across the pitch and almost out of play, and out of play.
Yeah, Brooks was coming off limits and was tackled by Kai Corbett and Maxi Mullins, and Maxi very nearly won the ball.
Counter-attack from Gateshead, but Jenkins is there first, and he will, when he's ready, play it back to Marcus Dewhurst. Dewhurst sends it forward down the left side. He can't keep it in play. It's going to be a throw-in to Gateshead. We've got 30 seconds left of the 10 minutes of added time. Gateshead come forward. It's played by Thompson into the path of Humbles. Terrific tackle from Will Armitage as well. Steers it into the path of Hargreaves. They say to win a game of football you need probably at least 8 players on at least 7 out of 10. I think Shots have got that this afternoon. And they're 3-1 up. Yes, they're against 10 men now of Gateshead, but there's a ball into the area. Mullins challenges for it. There's the final whistle. Right on the added 10 minutes. And the Shots have won this game by 3 goals to 1. It's been an eventful afternoon. We've had an emergency medical situation with the fan, a long stoppage in play. We've seen Theo Widrington stretchered off to hospital, and on the pitch Aldershot have come from behind. They went behind in the second minute to Jack Rolls, but goals from Josh Barrett, from Ryan Jones, and then Jack Barham have sealed the deal on 3 points for Aldershot. They're staying in North Hampshire, and after an added 41 minutes in both halves, it ends Aldershot Town 3, Gateshead 1. Steve Gibbs.
A curious game, not always at its best, but in the end I think the Shots deserved it. I think they came strong in the second half, made the changes that made a difference, and in the end I think maybe a game too far for Gateshead with their depleted squad, their depleted resources. Those injuries caught up with them, I think, and of course the red card, without which they would have, I think, mounted a bit more of a grandstand finish, but by then the Shots were in control. An excellent 3 points for Aldershot Town. Continues their good run of form and their good run of home form. Picking up points is one thing, as they did on Tuesday, but 3 points are what it's all about. And that's a big step in the right direction for Aldershot Town. And now they go into a tough week, a big week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but they'll go into it full of heart, full of confidence, with a spring in their step. I think for Tommy Widrington, to a large extent, on Monday morning it'll be counting the walking wounded, see who reports from duty and who can actually get out to training. But whatever team he picks on Tuesday against Leeds United, on Thursday against Portchester, and then probably most importantly of all, next Saturday up at Altrincham, I think it is, they will go there with a degree of confidence, knowing that this squad are upwardly mobile and moving in the right direction, and long may it continue.
Yeah, we'll get you a man of the match in just a minute, but Graham Whitehead says thank you guys. In total adversity, you've made this afternoon a fabulous football commentary alongside a great result. I do hope that Theo is a very short-term problem, because I believe that he is our sponge in the centre. Complimentary words there for Graham Whitehead, for Theo Widrington, who we wish all the best to. We'll look at the other scores in just a moment. But other games, of course, have largely finished, some of them 20-30 minutes ago. Steve, if you can get them up as well, if possible, I will see if we've got up-to-date full-time scores or not. We have indeed. Okay, earlier today it finished Barnet 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, and in the National League this afternoon, AFC Fylde 0, Braintree 2, Boston 2, Woking 2, Eastleigh 1, Hartlepool 1, Halifax 1, Yeovil 0, Maidenhead 0, Sutton 1, Rochdale 4, Wealdstone 1, Solihull Moors 2, Ebbsfleet 1, Southend 2, Altrincham 1, and Tamworth 1, Oldham 1. I think I'm going to try and do a full-time report to radio, Steve, in just a minute, so you get a little bit longer to work on your Aldershot Town man of the match. Honestly, Tim, it's a big and important and a well-timed win for the Shots. It's come, you know, in rather strange circumstances, where we've played a total of 41 added minutes today, due to stoppages in the first half for a medical emergency, in the second half while we waited, unfortunately and sadly, for a stretcher for Theo Widrington, and we hope that of course his injury is not too serious. But those left in the red and blue of Aldershot Town put in a performance of heart, guts and character this afternoon. They went behind on 2 minutes as well to a wonderful goal created and finished by Jack Rolls, with Liam Humbles playing his part in the assist. But the shots were not to be put off. They got back just 5 minutes in. Josh Barrett with his 14th goal in all competitions this season, pouncing on a weak back header and controlling the ball nicely before finishing with aplomb. 1-1 it was at half time, and in all truth Gateshead looked the more likely to go ahead in the second half, but 58 minutes in there was a foul on Theo Widdrington. We still don't know if that's the one that led to his injury, which may have occurred a minute or two later, but putting his own thoughts aside, he thought of the team first and he stabbed the ball forward quickly. The referee allowed the quick free kick to be taken. Ryan Jones rushed onto it, carried the ball into the penalty area and finished low with his left foot past Tiernan Brooks. On 73 minutes, Aldershot got a third goal when Ryan Jones was again involved, crossing, and Jack Barham with a well-earned 10th goal of the season in all competitions, controlling the ball and steering it in at the far post. So much to talk about, Tim. I tried to do it as briefly as I could. The final score this afternoon, as Aldershot go 7 unbeaten at home in the National League, 3 wins, 4 draws, and they begin, hopefully, a climb up the National League table. 3-1, Shots against the Heed. Well, on the radio they're just going to have a look at the table, but Steve, we'll come back to you for any final thoughts and your Aldershot Town man of the match. I think you can mention dispatches today because you can build up to man of the match if you like.
I'm still not 100% sure who I'm going for. It was that heart and soul team performance. Not always pretty, not always at their best, not always in the ascendancy by any stretch, but they dug deep and they found a way. And for me, I think the man that typifies that, and pretty much 1 to 11 metaphorically at least, 28 in goal to 36 in Will Armitage, and any numbers above that from the subs bench. Long story short, I think Cameron Hargreaves.
Yes.
Jack Barham has done really well. Luke Jenkins was absolutely impeccable when he came on. Manny Madger showed his qualities, battling front to back.
And Dewhurst and Aaron Jones in the first half. It's a collective team performance of 10-15 minute spells in which individual players were brilliant. Yeah,
I think every player shone in their own way at one or more times during the game. Absolutely. Aaron Jones, vital defensive interceptions. Marcus Dewhurst getting applause from the bench, which is not a given for him for his kicking as much as anything else, but some vital saves when they really mattered. I think every player contributed to that win in their own way and at different times. But for me, if you're talking about the heart and soul of this Aldershot Town team, and because you felt I should have given it to him on Tuesday, Cameron Hargreaves.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't envy you today. I think there's probably 6 or 7 players pushing hard for that, and all in all, it ends up to a collective from Aldershot Town this afternoon. And I think that's a word that if we're blessed with the presence of the Aldershot Town management team for a post-match interview, we shall be bringing up in that. We shall also try and get word with a member of the Aldershot playing staff as well. For now though, listeners, we'll just run through those other scores. I beg your pardon, we did that, didn't we? We'll run through the National League table as it looks this evening. We haven't got to wait for any other games to finish because they most definitely have finished elsewhere in the National League. Let me just catch my breath.
Am I taking this or are you leaving it for Sam?
It's going to be ages yet, so see if you're still here.
I won't be because
no, you go, I'll leave it with Sam. All right. Apologies, just having an off-air conversation. So I think we've run through all the results. I'll do it again briefly. Barnet 1, Dagenham Redbridge 0. That was earlier today. And then Fylde 0, Braintree 2, Boston 2, Woking 2, Eastleigh 1, Hartlepool 1, Halifax 1, Yeovil 0, Maidenhead 0, Sutton 1, Rochdale 4, Wealdstone 1, Solihull 2, Ebbsfleet 1, Southend 2, Altrincham 1, Tamworth 1, Oldham Athletic 1. And now a look at the National League table. There is a game that's kicking off late today, and that's York City second against Forest Green third, and that's just 7 minutes underway at the moment, 0-0. So at the top, as it stands at the moment, Barnet are 11 points clear, and that could be reduced to 9 if York City go on to get a win. And at the bottom end of the table, Ebbsfleet, Boston, Maidenhead and Wealdstone occupy those positions. Wealdstone, the highest of which in 21st on 35 points, and Aldershot Town remain in 18th place, but 5 points clear now of the relegation zone. Just above them, Woking on 41 points. And the Shots do have 12 games left. Some of the other teams around them have only got 11 or so.
Jack, have you got to go in, or could you do a quick close? Can either you or Aaron Jones come out, sort it out? Yeah, look, cheers, mate.
Is that a
Nobody knows about the one with me. Left over there. Well, mate, that was good, wasn't it? Good second half, brilliant, really good, deserved it.
I don't know about the
It blew up and the violent. All the finish. I said, right, let's look at league action Tuesday night. Cracking week last week, so I wanted to pull clear of the dogs. And now I wanted to pull clear. And he launched into this thing. And he went out the word relegation. Well, I'm in it. I hope after such a win, I hope he just comes up and does it.
do you reckon it's a
Still on air, so.
yeah. Like, do you reckon it's this is a question. Why do you do it?
You and I would say, look, we've got a bit earlier. All I can tell you is that we should
yeah, of course.
I've taken it to the person that I'm not quite sure what the motives are. Is it that I think that's the plan.
I don't know. He's never going to tell you that bit.
They never do. Everybody claims to have a bottom line budget.
Like the way I don't know if you know. From my understanding, Telecom is a big name. We've got the biggest squad, which is he's come out and said, but also I think thank goodness for last year for history. For example, it's not just the players. I think last season we did 9 overnight stays. This year we did 13. Something like that. So I think it's like the preparation part of it as well. Is my understanding.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you follow something There's toxic. I've told one or two people that they were compliment, but I've checked the interviews every time. You've done it 3 times now this season. And they've checked it. They haven't managed to confirm that 2%. If I think about it later, I'll send you a nice week, but you need to just listen to yourself, don't send it amongst
No, cool. Bob, go to that sound.
You can hear exactly what he wants to do.
You know it's me. Very, very rarely do I post on that group anyway. Very rarely.
I mean, this is, I don't even want to share it to a couple of mates if that's alright. I'll do it now actually.
Yeah.
Oh, fine. It's only that you won't know it's coming.
No.
You will not know it's coming.
Do you say crutches? Do you say crutches?
Yeah, crutches being sat down.
Do we know if it happened on the foul or when he was running back after?
I think he looked clear. It looked like he was limping a bit.
I'll tell you what, how good is Luke Jenkins?
Oh, so good.
He just came on and didn't put a foot wrong. He's such a quality player.
It was a really strange game. I think there's about 5 players who had 10 or 15 minute spells today where they were brilliant. Aaron Jones in the first half, best he's played for ages. Marcus Stewart with a couple of saves.
He was my man of the match. These 2 saves kept us in hand.
Yeah.
There were 2 saves that he had no right to make. Yeah. One in the first half, one in the second half.
Well, the 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, great save.
He's got to be a candidate for player of the year, to be fair.
Yeah, he'll be up.
Consistency.
Yeah, he'll be up there. Yeah.
That's the one. Absolutely. As they say up north, that'll do. Which we think down south isn't good, but it is. No, wrong match. Send it over to. It's about 4.5 minutes. It's only the last 30 seconds. Can't believe a time, 5:45.
It's mental, isn't it? They're mental. Do we know if the fans are alright? Have anyone heard of it?
No, I mean I didn't know anything about it at all, to be honest.
Hello mate, how are you?
Chris,
You okay? Yeah, good.
Very strange game today, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It
strange
was,
afternoon.
Take it, 3 points is 3 points.
Yeah.
Take it.
As if wasting money. I know, I was thinking that. Oh, he left it. Where's he gone? Right. See you later, Michael. See you later. Bye. You know, before somebody warmed up, it must be over. He said, no, he wants some more. So they were all fucking. You want some more? Yeah. We'll take it 10 minutes. There's much more to turn off.
Pretty good today. Dagenham lost, Bard lost, Fieldstone lost.
Yeah, see you Tuesday.
Oh, Graham, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, we needed that, didn't we? Okay.
So there was obviously some earlier on in the game, they were actually run by